Abraham 937. Yatana se dum yenu ne be sorry na of course ye de adum kase na to adwumade no so adi amamo. Gabi the foreigner atefo atena se aboabo ansam na no awonene nsam no de bran owi a na ye de afisam awie adwumade no adi amamo. Mr. John live our YouTube Nhyira TV. YouTube Nhyira TV na Mr. Odedi kan channel non subscribe ya. Subscribe mami or subscribe we are now do message no. Aka ho ye kwama na nyaba ye ba. Messages how do amodi aba ni na no atifo ye be kan ni na kama enso edi amamo awo dwumadi no so nti Nhyira TV. Sisi o pese o kire wadwen awo dwumadi no so dia. Midweek edition of Nhyira Digital Passport no aho edna obetimi a kire wadwen enso edi afabat abekesima du na bre ho aye be jade aka no di amamo na mo so obechama dwen awo dwumadi no enso eso na enra okọ Europe na nya asem keto the games ho and enso games di bi ho ani down no ye be du nkomo etimi edi amamo na before kra no mama nchia abi na me chosifo so mo se adwuma no enye easy so okọ Emirate akwasha Arsenal no enye for the week enti Chelsea for me mamu nyina ache na makachem se adwuma no enye easy no me catch them Arsenal Chelsea kaba akomo entimi ante in the EFL Cup semi-final second leg. So what that means is that is a Arsenal and so our final num I'm the 4 on aggregate and equalim and then Man City and then Newcastle na bobo already no first leg in the city echa Newcastle come you know amo entiment intene you will say City between aqua final and Newcastle and any Arsenal be kwakoba ni na hunsemo ha etifo ye be di san komo no awo dwumadi so Spain so Copa del Rey game na a quarter final team na Real Madrid efim no aye Albacete and na Barcelona kutwa meka mi no moment ka no aye ba Copa del Rey Copa Italia mum awo quarter final hanso Inter and Torino and ebobo anu so ahonsamo ha atifo ye beka ahonsam dina no awo dwumadi no eso na no pay na yabefie na de afisam no etimi ade atoam so enno mbeka kiramo say House of Folk a new appointment omo enya a new managing director say ono na ebe share Delali Anku and so ana ye friend of Mr. Julius Ben eye Enuma na enum na customer for the House of Folk Bobo Kunu Kwame Oparado and so kasa di afa eye opinion was so a true House of Folk fan. And into Jumadi no oba be jino ndi ogidie se bibia be koye enso at the ama a House of Folk but e be feel that the structures of House of Folk no enti be more open and successful though okọ club licensing board ni ade a open no wabo adwuma hopa of vast experience but House of Folk toxic experience ni no and sure na open Julius enti me an ni Jumadi no awo aye House nso akache a etie for ni nyina no ene yebesa ram na yedin komo no enso timi ade amamo this and many more in Shaman 4.5 ya come on ni aba na ya be this sound komo ni nyina no etimi ade amamo Gabi the foreigner etie for ode eko amane ne Richard ni good morning
amusu garlic bitters mamoje
Ghana made. Doesn't make us a UK made and I mean UK they made out of you. But there's one out of two co man or stylist on the two co.
Oh, Debbie, I no pay me the two.
Why a guy power?
Sir. I no president come the two for me.
Who cheer a dog go you take it for
we you mu di Libya.
Yeah, and now Kuma was a new shirt.
Shirt in the sana design.
So
we are Chinese design.
Anything a chain complementing a necklace, a complementing a camera, and now come. Everything's good for the dog work out.
Oh yeah.
Oh can we?
Oh yes.
I'm no can.
It's good to me.
I'm no as a journalist and answer.
Oh, as a journalist. Yeah.
As a be accreditation. Why you will be here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Ti e drew on my story be is good over co.
Yeah.
Okay. In person be drew on na. The China.
So it doesn't care where sport.
If you go see ku say only be for akadia ya internal no ku see ku kan mo fa ko.
Okay.
Nya fi na World Cup ni be drew on na okuku si wasuma World Cup we say okubi. Me in share film passport e telephone na I say utukwan. Also when the World Cup that you draw on your befro. You guys are in Chile and Philadelphia. And my media it's not passport. Now me check it. Me jin chiaba wa. Yes, World Cup. Prepare na call there.
We are very fine.
Rich.
Okay.
And now the January transfer window abeli, and there have been some notable transfers in this January. Which I think say we share, and according to Sky, this January transfer has been quieter as compared to January's in the past. Usually in January by this time, now clubs still are doing a lot of business, especially in the English Premier League. The business level not perform. Maybe it's because most of the clubs don't want to compromise on more environment of players on one. Interview player babaye obi oye obabe move the ceiling of the club, and I say the levels of ceiling of club demand, they won't do that. And that is why we've seen probably just a few number of transfers in this January. And I think say one of the notable names of English Premier League has been Abrante's friend Antoine Semenyo, who moved from Bournemouth to Manchester City. And we know say Pep Guardiola wanted something else. I want to wing on him. Because if you look at players like Oscar Bomo could play there, the likes of Savinho Mo could play there, Jeremy Dokuma, they are stylistically different from Abrante's friend Antoine Semenyo. Semenyo is more direct, it's before ball from deep, the ball carrying here. Oh yeah, also what the final ball, the finishing ability now. Dokumu ancient, the Dokumu specialized more on the 1v1 dribbling ability, and that is why Joseph Guardiola Coco fan. But and since he came, the form is there. Even the last time against Tottenham Hotspur, he scored such a brilliant goal for team friend in Manchester City. The weeks before, he had been scoring consistently against Newcastle United away in the EFL Cup first leg. No, she go on him. So Antoine Semenyo has hit the ground running with team friend in Manchester City. Jorgen Strand Larsen, Wolverhampton Wanderers, a movie to team friend Tottenham Crystal Palace. The hope for Crystal Palace was that now Brantia, your friend, my Brantia friend, Jean-Philippe Mateta was going to move to AC Milan. Rich, Italy for the way medicals need different. So when you say Italy in Kwane, the only country amongst the lots in Europe, most of them allow player Okita, not a defibrillator, a pacemaker. Who's a Ericsson Echo World Cup now, or was the Europes? Our Kokonia had a little heart issue. I had the pacemaker share na come machine a bit my boy man come abo the right way. O trash you know that's can Inter Milan. But the rules of Italian football, and not just the Italian FIGC, but essentially Italian football laws and Italian sporting laws actually say machine eshe wa kuma ho a untimi mobile o kromo no untimi bi agudia eye rigorous e kromo and unti Abrante's friend Ericsson could not go and play in Internazionale Milan. It's not the same thing, but then it's essentially about the stringent of laws of Italy. So player Libana and the medical exactly as Italian football law epa. They always throw you in the medicals. And Abrante's Yefrero, Jean-Philippe Mateta, and two medicals and now he failed all of them. And Omar sending them back AC Milan for young sign, So Wolves of War, Aton, Strand Larsen, and Crystal Palace. Now Crystal Palace, James said Jean-Philippe Mateta, echo AC Milan, but that deal could not materialize, and it means that Brante's friend Jean-Philippe Mateta will be coming back. Brandon Johnson, a movie from Tottenham Hotspur to Crystal Palace. Who's there? Oliver Glasner has been complaining. Say after say Berettier, Koye, Magui, Koye, they don't have the depth in quality. And then he has made it clear say by the end of the season, they'll be free clubbing him. And in a bid for Steve Parish, to try and convince him to stay and also at least finish the season on a high. They've got certain players, and one of them, Branty, a friend of Brandon Johnson from Tottenham Hotspur, Conor Gallagher, has come back to London, but not the blue side of London, this time to Tottenham Hotspur. And this weekend against Manchester City, we were reminded of the one player So or against Rodri or as intense, as physical, and make it very, very difficult for Rodri Cascante to play his football. The days at Chelsea, he was always dominant against Rodri. And this time again at Tottenham Hotspur, this week on Obama, also very solid, £34 million and Atletico for a ton. Oscar Bob have moved from Man City to Fulham because of Antoine Semenyo coming in. He could free up that space. And I went here and Matt Gay from Crystal Palace also to Man City because of the issues of injuries and Koso and Man City. I think say Oliver Glasner you're boosting Echiroka Kraman.
Na on the Anango Sweaty. No, a Crystal Palace a middle table team.
Yeah.
Our Yankasa Chinchinaco Premier League. Yankasa Chinchinaco Champions League.
That's what EFL Cup was FA Cup last season.
And no, Sabai, but Yangia
or Europa League.
And I'm just say, I don't know, and yet Chinchinaco GBB
Conference. Yeah.
A buy a budget at Yangia, we move on.
Yeah.
Separation, I go be a moment from Kaka, you to go. It's go be. We are about to open my teta. And look at my sister.
A
very cheesy, no, or to one on Monday. Our the Crystal Palace never got it.
You understand?
And he, as well,
but also, boxing ambition is not strong.
Fine. So, on the food say, be a club, no?
Yeah.
Ambition, no, the entire. You move on. But Crystal Palace, they at the tongue.
Where they are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but go find the low. Yeah, being near Yaka.
But when you
know your coach, Adama Brighton.
Yeah, they have a tongue.
Over tongue.
Yeah. What do you make of CC and striker situation? Because Omakofa strand last in our back. Matete feeling medicals into our back. And my referee, a big also per game time or body abo World Cup ni biama yen. Also be back. It is strikers out and out strikers no. Omo be.
You mean that to say anymore no?
Yeah.
Obenya Dalima.
Yeah.
In terms of selection.
Yes. Or your friend is saying Ismail Sarr. And so we team in him.
But I mean Oliver Glasner and yes, I know here no. Someone I Matete with him.
Yeah.
He has been the top striker all this minimum the me born
no boy Jean-Philippe Mateta.
So we pick one there.
Okay. Next day boys na can
no ma can now do ma compliment.
You hear what will happen to Crystal Palace in the summer.
What they to Tony here no.
Ademola Lookman is Atletico Madrid. Na me doing something corner na make say Diego Simeone maybe it's time to let him go. It's not good at all. Which last season for large part of the season we thought say Atletico Madrid in the Belgian league, you know. Then allow Barcelona and Madrid to serve them at different times. Eventually, Barca managed to win it. They've added extra quality. Now, means when Atletico Madrid for attack depth now, there is a lot of depth in that attack. From Antoine Griezmann to limits. They've added Ademola Lookman to it. Again, it makes Nefima Bodo Glimpse Baba show Champions League on the last day. And you don't get a top 8. It is hugely questionable of Diego Simeone. I think that the investment Kakromaya can hold this January. No? If this season they don't put up a good show or Champions League, they should let Abrantia and your friend Diego Simeone go. But of course, Obisika Chair is a rich. Atletico Madrid, baby, will move free ban. And the stability of Diego Simeone, they are more.
And you do
no, but the club, are they going to be better than Madrid or Barcelona?
Only to me. But at least sometimes, I saw Rocky shoulder with the Real Madrid and the Barcelona.
Rocky shoulder and I tell you that they did. That's a Rocky shoulder. Rocky shoulder, they said
something GBB.
You said 5 or 6 years or I think 8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
And Oje Baku. 8 years ago. Another 8 years. What's Oje
Baku? No, Kofi. Also, like you said, I'll let you come out with the net team.
Yeah.
And you know many players.
Yeah. No depth power.
They have quality.
Yeah.
It is so you toss our players with mommy. How can James say and another baby and a team to one baby at the other do. Any mediocre thing.
So it's time for let's go to move.
I'm sure send a Real Madrid name Barcelona no. I'm competing
here because it's Vito. You thought Ademola Lookman any classic.
We know about us
right now but now let's go to Madrid. Quality players that should be able to compete. I mean,
that excuse no the man there. We are not going to do one man. If we are still now coaches now only 12 guy.
Yeah.
The most paid coach. I want to understand an idea about you come out the Diano. Apart from Sally, no Jamon give.
So the man bought Champions League. About Champions League for you.
Go find an one ya. Go cranky.
What do you Europa League moment to time against Marseille? It's the crack. Jeremy Jacket movie from start the end to Liverpool, no, very interesting. Now buying 40 to Honum. They were hoping says and die Upamecano extending the contract that they will jump in and get a brand new fellow Jeremy Jacket. But Upamecano, in as much as Madrid, Barcelona, have all agreed to let in a brand new the fellow to extend the contract of team from the football club FC Bayern Munich, and that is good. So Upamecano bets down. I think that they need that experience going forward. You don't know how this season Champions League may be under Vincent Company, but you need that continuity even from next season and in the league. And I think it's good that he has moved on. Our team, your friend, the football club Bayern Munich. Which I have different thoughts on the Jacket move. You see, Chelsea wanted Jacket for the ambipedal ability of Jacket, or ball left, some ball right. So here the list of centre backs at Chelsea Kita. ABR, the people who have not paid attention to it to not realize it. Aaron and Samino, a right-footed centre back. Mamadou Sarr, a right-footed centre back. Wesley Fofana, a right-footed centre back. Trevor Chalobah, right-footed centre back. Tosin Adrebi, a right-footed centre back. The only two left-footed centre backs, Levaiko or Repla, Benoit Bediashile. A lot of Chelsea fans don't think he's good enough to play for the club. Anything in that Chelsea phone were big because Chelsea phone have a lot of young centre backs. But only Nhyira right. It's Mamadou Sarr ever see here. Mamadou Sarr and Wesley Fofana never be competing. So if you in a game, say Mamadou Sarr and Wesley Fofana are playing two right-footed centre backs, you still need a left-footed centre back. It means that in that system, no, you either have to play Wesley Fofana as a right back or play Mamadou Sarr as a right back. Mambo even Joshua Kofi Chapo. So it is the issue. That is why Chelsea phone here big on you. Yeah, Chelsea phone what they do If they lose out on a player, they come back and go through match law money and they and come and tell us that it is because they wanted to allow Mamadou Sarr the champion. I'm a Chelsea fan, I know it. I know this project. It's a lie that the sporting directors usually put out. They lost out. One, Chelsea were not willing to pay the amount of money not rent for Abisa for Jeremy Jacket. Not Chelsea for like I said.
I'm sorry, interrupting and kakanti. Olaponi na. Yen to us in Shawanzo 4.5 Tuesday edition. Ubet me do message Nabania can kind the amount. Seaman sitting from New York City, Big Apple with Chelsea kicking Arsenal out of Carabao. A question now be na Kase Chelsea Beshe. Okay.
Chelsea were not willing to pay that amount of money for Jeremy Jacket. Two, Liverpool were more assured in their mind. Say Jeremy Jacket fits into their team, and although they were Diabo, pay the fact that Ibrahima Konate has not extended his contract and he was going to go. Chelsea lost out on a top talent. It is not because they wanted Mamadou Sarr to come and play. No, they lost out on Jeremy Jacket. Jacket is top. No Jacket buyer. It is Levaiko, Bediashile Jacket. You have three solid left-footed centre backs with team in him. If you add the Myriad quality at right-footed centre back, you have enough balance to compete. And then Mamadou Sarr is coming in. He is good. I've said it several times.
Oh, so AFCON, are you crying?
It had to take the AFCON before you people realize. Mamadou Sarr has been top from Lyon. And me, when he was 18 at Chelsea for a tournament.
But Koulibaly buying now.
Yeah.
Of 15.
Hey,
simple.
He can play. Which was me Makase me found the age. Paul Kubasi is not 30. The only thing is that according to me to say Joshua Champion. Which only Joshua Champion conference on Koboma Strasbourg 2 years. He will become a world beater. You can sell him for 70 million. It's just that in the English Premier League, there's too much overemphasis on player no and then so unique. Rich, I'm telling you, if Paul Kubasi was in Manchester United Academy, but at Spain, they will allow you. And that is the problem of the English Premier League. I like the fact that Liam Roseni and Kasa and means after say Chelsea have lost out on Jacket, no, he's saying that he knows Mamadou. It's Mamadou Mra, and Aaron and Sumino has gone to Strasbourg, which I think is a very good one. Which Chelsea go away to go and play against Arsenal. Happening. From where you sit, is it doable for Chelsea to turn it around 3-2?
Football.
Arsenal feel cool. I think psychologically, Arsenal for him say so we could the final of the EFL Cup. No more go Bojia. it gives them that psychological edge for the rest of the season. So they have to find a way to beat Chelsea, stamp their feet on it, and go ahead. And Liam Rosinier said he expects the game to be very physical, and I think that is how tactically he's going into the game. And it's here Jamie Carragher on Liam Rosinier's tactical approach to the game against West Ham in the second half, and I think I agree with him. Changing from the 3-2-5 to the 2-2-6 from Liam Rosinier was solid. But so what's here Jamie Carragher? Or say Liam is underselling himself by saying that and then the tactics they making changes in the players now. I don't think Liam is underselling himself. Liam is being
smart.
Yes, he's being smart. Or but say players no fully say
Mourinho standing.
Yes, that's what they can fight. On better say men are tactical being minimum money. He wants the players to feel like they are making the changes, then they can fight him. Because I don't pay what he can say they move job Pedro money and they say that in a difficult time, but they know that they have to fight at the Emirates to see they can take it. Yeah.
Tactics now can.
Yeah. Players no.
Players in the good park so. And aside of tactics, the game no. It's the players on man to us here. And I'm going man to give here.
Yeah. Yeah, you will not be able
and
to. And
sometimes me some man you anampe. So my players who say, look, me a coach need I'm on ball now.
Yeah.
Oh, they are ready to fight for you.
They would fight for you. You just have to platform them with the structure, and then they go ahead to go play some matching him. Gets his air out because of muscle injury. Jarrell Hato, I don't think he starts in this one. I think Chelsea will go with Fofana, Chalobah, then with James at right back, Enzo Fernandez, Moses Caicedo. I think it's a similar lineup to what he played. I think Andy we old one on Coco picking by Garnacho obviously also is not going to be in this one.
Yempe disaster via Yempe Sabine but the Ashim is Sam.
Which I think the Badashi is psychological.
Oh no,
because okay first season first season Pochettino. They both power. Liverpool. Psychological.
He plays so. I'm a dear Chimney Crumber born about what I say. Yamian Green Brantano. Or surprise it.
Yeah, psychological.
All of a sudden was out to offer
because the ability is there. But as I told you, they're not too sluggish. I mean, sometimes you don't get it. Say, I'm far, they would have to move him on and then go and get it.
Never far.
Here, it depends.
It
depends on how Chelsea can stretch the game. Liam was senior kind. Oko na first half, second half, Arsenal share 1-2. And you are chasing the game, even in a game, I will chase it. Who's a tie already Chelsea chasing? So you can't go and chase the game too. Either say Chelsea, say Chelsea share 1. Now Arsenal chasing title. But immediately you go into the game and you allow Arsenal to score, you go and chase the tie again, it becomes more difficult. Chelsea will not be able to go through. I foresee, say, by the 60th minute match, you'll be 0-0. Until the game open up by the 50th minute, and the game will open up by the 60th minute. That is where I expect Chelsea scoring. I think saying Chelsea the game will be extra time. I'm not pushing game out of the regular 90 minutes now. That is how I foresee. It's going to be tough. But then Chelsea will give Arsenal a huge run for their money. Bukayo Saka obviously out of this match. Now Barca Coba Biseti. Team Real Madrid film Copa del Rey. Now, Michel Barcelona. Don't underrate Abiseti, sir. Omo yi Leganes a free, Momo yi Celta Vigo free, Momo yi Madrid a free mo. Since Omo share Madrid, the match bi Omo bia wo mo league no Omo share. Inti no Omo da last bottle, so Omo pejaba be that 12. Barca na ekwa bom. One of the issues I've seen in Barca in recent times is that whilst the attack is solid, no, the last game against Elche, Barca creating XG of almost 5+, but they scored just a few of them. Barca would have to be very clinical against Abiseti Elfi. Because Abisete Furindo believe say you Madrid the free man. Let us try to see if we can do it against Football Club Barcelona. But of course, on paper, you expect Madrid to go on and get a job done. Milan, Enzo, any Bologna, Ebebo, the Italian befriending and Cup, huge game away from him. Bologna are going. I think that the Milan double chance should be a very good one. That was so much rich. Those are the major games and then across Europe. In terms of matches now, now it's a Barca team match our Copa del Rey. They are going to the semi-final of the Copa del Rey, and Madrid would have to rest and prepare for over the weekend. You bet they are leagues. This is caps no next week, next Tuesday, there's going to be Champions League. Into leagues, no, we've gotten to the most important part of the season now. And I like the fact that Lamine Yamal, many important players now beginning to pick up. Unfortunately, Esteban and Enyadi are most likely waiting up in the match maybe because of compassionate leave. Oh, Brazil. You're saying Nana or Yarido room pass. And now I've seen Enzo Fernandez do an interview and they use the word condolences. So I don't know if the woman had passed out, but then again, he is out of the team. Even if he's back in England, I don't expect him to start. Most likely, he's going to start off from the bench. And the match is Senior BBI, he has been very good in this last couple of days. So you may keep up the streak, maybe bet codes, and the match is not so more there, straightforward. So, one team already, so I'm sure one team I may be going to file pen or paper. First one, a BW 388232127. Second one, a BW 388214-2B. Third one, a BW 3881ED7E. The fourth one, a BW 3881C068. Then the last one, a BW 38819FE9. Rich, these are codes, and yeah, they coffee kasi. Okay. Na, I know the bomb pie goose will go greens as well.
Naminto green. And green in house.
That's a lack of side.
Naminto green guzuna. Obi biano. Unina onya kakranya na lie. So
lack of side.
Me the lag there. Me I will me so phone as. Ghana made.
Doesn't make us a UK made and I.
Let me you get the made out of you.
But there's one of them. One out of two co. One or stylist on the two co.
Oh, Debbie, I know pay me and the two.
Why a guy power?
Sir. I know president come the two for me.
Who cheated the dog go you take it to our
we knew you didn't be.
And now Kuma was a new shirt in
the sana design. So we are Chinese design.
Anything a chain complimenting a necklace, complimenting a camera, and now come. Everything's good for the dog work out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, can we?
Oh, yes.
I'm no can.
He's good to me.
I'm no as a journalist and answer.
Oh, as a journalist, yeah.
As a be accreditation, why you will be here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. See, you drew on my story, the head is good over.
Yeah.
Okay. You drew on that. The chain now.
Yeah, doesn't care where's what.
If you could see, so no good for Candia, and internal who's come from.
Okay.
Nothing I woke up and be drew on Ukuku, Wasuma, woke up with a cell copy. Nay, many in shelf passports, a telephone, I said, to cry. Also, when they woke up, that you draw near Befro. You guys are in Chilun and Philadelphia, and a man, yes, it's that passport. Now, let me check it. I'm a gin chamawa. Yes, sir. Woke up now. Prepare na call there.
Yeah, fine.
Rich. Okay. And now, Joe, the January transfer window here, and there have been some notable transfers in this January, which I think say we share, and according to Sky, this January transfer has been quieter as compared to January's in the past. Usually in January by this time, now clubs still are doing a lot of business, especially in the English Premier League. The business level not perform. Maybe it's because most of the clubs don't want to compromise on environment of players or one. Interview player babaye obi oye obabe move the ceiling of the club, and I say the levels of ceiling of club demand. They won't do that. And that is why we've seen probably just a few number of transfers in this January. And I think one of the notable names of English Premier League has been Abrante's friend Antoine Semenyo, who moved from Bournemouth to Manchester City. And we know say Pep Guardiola wanted something else. I want to win Honan. Because if you look at players like Oscar Bomo could play there, the likes of Savinho Mo could play there, Jeremy Dokuma, they are stylistically different from Abrante Fen and Twang Semenyo. Semenyo more direct, it's before ball from deep, the ball carrying here. Oh yeah, Sancho was the final ball.
Yakwa the update you know at the tafe ana do afidie no at the ato ayesha your number one account radio station the Asanteman at the atumini now yendi nkoma kakra maka to say adwumade live e wo YouTube nti wo kwa no subscribe ya anytime be a video be ready no wonso wonsa ebetimi akana atimi aboye pa na yengati the show rumble na me compare so when him say World Cup no eno so total den na say World Cup na e ba so dia san and common esi at wo ko the national team at the Celestials. Wabuta World Cup no do masi so mo plans na kradada. Esa say in the month of February and ya wano we kwampo de tete bi ya ne ande awie ni. Na tese ya komat na mati nya ba dunya na bonchen. Ento mo se wo mo de World Cup no sa ya kwa players wo mo de kono. Wo mo de 3 goalkeepers. Anom pese wo mo de wo mo eko. Afi wo mo de full backs no mako nine. Aye number 2 ni number 3 no. Na da me se ba bia mienu. Anom mo de eko. Afi aba na center back hono women the 5 players never call na aban midfield na defensive midfielders and central midfielders no women so man fan kokra there every 9 echo 5 will be I am and tell us on befa 9 and also befa 5 defensive players and midfielders at the acom afa aban attacking anymore say ekoba say omofa 5 e won fifi on there na dem say so omo the 9 strikers echo emom say ekoba say omofa 4 midfielders e won fifi one so omo the 10 strikers and so echo and team anu ye de free paiso akati edi ba mema refize Carlo Ancelotti any head coach Edema de Celestials of Brazil anu so yan koma kakao ni omu edi na anu na anim ho players on beto to ntransi anom yase hwa yiri ye pa na player ba kwa yase yisi de am say we secure the place Matheus Cunha Manchester United player no yase born na akoda ni born de obi antimi ntu no ekoba se ne Brazil e de call up eba Matheus Cunha enso ebe na call up afe Richarlison dia nansai abante ni paper nansai kwa ne bo no and said that and kwanim sa and farmer Tottenham Hotspur reporter mensaka say abrante no ne niam decrease say decrease emom abrante de dey hebere Jesus Hendrick and so akọ me patron Leon ana Joao Pedro what tells him wo mo tell say number 9 slot no sa players obi e pre sa 9 players and say 10 players o mo de be kono so mumu bi enso eka ho nemom player meet so ono call up ebeka no aye okọ St Petersburg wo mo our abrante the team Adi Lewis aye Herike reporter menseka say Carlo Ancelotti if he sa koda ne ball number pa ente World Cup no eba na call up ba sa koda we etimi adwane Brazil wo mo su team na no ye reporter mensa eka e wo dwumade so na meko West Ham United na makwa kodi nkoma kakra sisi no coach we minim team obetima coach asasi so time bi aso be ye adwuma mo bi an so ago peyin no am say adwuma no nim ye obeni nam fula mani ade na amfa Swansea City adwuma oboy no obi nim say Nuno Espirito Santos there with the adwuma adema no betimi aye adwuma ni nyina kama sana papa no bo akroko de John na sisi no wo ko team bia na Diego West Ham United sisi ankrofo wo munya relegation on back up na omo se kobale so mo ko relegation zekim no mo pamu opanyin we ya mema ne nya na adwen se wo mu oska bia omo de ma no esan se yase contract wo mo ne ko am ka chance se wonim no onim na de team no akwa relegation zekim and no be pam no wo mo pam so mo man taku anasa sempoa eno aye reporter efi Nuno Espirito Santo akati edi eba awo dwumade so na me free on na fema Cristiano Ronaldo na another ayala abaye extensive analysis on Cristiano Ronaldo na mpato anopa medi update adeba na yase Ronaldo abufo nyina yase wazi ise team no okasa omuntie na anyase players nkwampa amanfo toto no kra na ehano na nkonim sankaja Saudi Pro League on Cristiano Ronaldo ana ma Saudi Pro League aya akono atese dodo na anso ani ji ho endi ankasa bio yakobi oye most influencer anka say you no Cristiano Ronaldo and so make suggestions bi a anka say the team anasa fan in time kra emani amanso ekoye de mom na Saudi Pro League no enso timehwe asua na isi no yase wo fa anasa boboko na Ronaldo ka no me yomani Ronaldo ka no me yomani eno anama Cristiano Ronaldo ne buafu ata se wadwa team na no da okate team ne se mate do menim no wono onyade wono oni abuso problem bia wono ane ba bia anyade bono so omoda adentia ono onsada anya fine nani nje ewo team na no ye reporter any update free Cristiano Ronaldo akate edi eba ewo dwumadi so na no pe no ye ketre edema na ano na amanfo bisa se na sisi Ronaldo yi so se wo free Saudi ahimfa no oko ene se esi awabo ba bia bia ho ye de nyina kame ase wabawia na sa baby aka yemienu pe ada so obeko France anase ebi obeko aye Germany anase ebi obeko Brazil na fe wakwa ese obetimi ame honso peja no de free Cristiano Ronaldo akache eba ewo dwumade so na made de force omo wada yeso bi na sa da yeso no ma ha we say sabe da ye bone ana omo so no anya possible say sa da ye ne betimi abam beta yes there is no harm in trying wo mo so on beta ya hwese ebetimi afa Diane yase omso mfifi ho all entomane ene edodo kamafinka adwuma no omuntime anya wo made de mfifi ho enti ombehia two midfielders na sa two midfielders no wo mo copy eje omso omuhia Vitinha ana mo ba Chelsea say Enzo Fernandez nso ho enti ankomunya sa two combo na we no Portugal ne Argentina ana o makambo ade abom ewo omfifi ho enti sa da yase wo omso omuhani dia da ye we de nyame anim nie woso kra anya de say betima bam because aye din pass PSA ebeja Vitinha ediama ana Enzo no ankaza kwa no se Chelsea kwa no mo betwe dare Enzo no bo na obode ma Chelsea no aye Chelsea team ni ya de man so tete kamfa team ni dada kuma so enti ebeye din pass wa hu betima nya samrante mie no eno aye mandate wo meda ye so mo say omugidi pass ja so no de enye da ye betimi abom beta ano meko interest ya eko ha de kakra na Christopher Nkuku minim se abro na no odi yo sese yo akwai entenato na eno a onya go Adima AC Milan boboko no gwabra omo ane Bologna kem no enso etwani under abuse enyane de ana Ruben Loftus-Cheek omo aya 3 players a omo bo antena miensa adima AC Milan boboko no na ano da Chelsea so kokonkoden ewo Emirates nyame anim ne ya kun papa ene boy ya ba yenim se ya pa na sa ye de 0-0 bepon eja anya hwekwa de 0-0 nkrofo ya he sa omoboa omotete last minute yeti ane se ekome sosro na bo ne da trem referee 6 minutes ade tuzu referee ne kra ka ho 6 minutes papa ya so bo wa be na ko bia kwa ne be o se aha ana time na ade tuzu mu dile kakra o mu nti 1 minute za aba beto so ma ya bo 7 minutes ama nkrofu akwa nyame anim ne tozifu ani ane ho kra 6 minutes de aso anka po na nka ye enso na ya ko ya amfa atena ba ko na tese hasena boboko no ade ma Chelsea na baso na fonse o mo time mad de fonse abasate fonse ne he o mo ndi se mad de nima ade de anya hwekwa 39th minute se wutimi wie bibia enti o mo pa adwuma na on the 56th minute ana basa for time mad de fonse Oma wi adwuma no wo na basa tabi awie esanse no ma bo mu ntramie no eja ye beponya na enkrofo enya baako enso esenti basa ebo 2-1 na omo edepon eya basa te game nti Copa del Rey baso na egusu omo ekomanim bara de teni se ofa Bayern team na ofi se Harry Kane entimi se go enti Bayern enwe ne dia to adwum esanse sa two players yi Bayern 4 esani omo in fact wo ma bo Bayern team ni ye panano medical crowd by better goals no bar ne se eba na 32 matches 13 goals 23 assists for Michael Olise 29 games 15 goals 12 assists for Luis Diaz inti sa two players when they ultimate say wo ma boa Bayern ye pa goals and crowd me no no anya sam kotwa kra enom ayan koma fini Bayern akate e di eba na mamenko Ronald Arayo akate na menko din koma kakra o Uruguay ni ba na no da omobo against Chelsea ana akoda we kodi record na the eba tire say akoda proud to game no na on fili okay ani ase yati ane so ne na Israel eni ase says then so be the good bottom ama naba wakọ akọbu buesu ni ade ene Jordan sukade wakọ de dem ama timi say ne body na ya kama spiritually ya fortify no ana time ya ba na time ba no against man the double kakra ene asa 7 minutes no about 1 minute bi na about 12 minutes bi since Chelsea game odi recorder eja okọ 45 no ho bae no we said that mo on starting game papa bia fama Barcelona eja Barca for ji nkulei anom so ene chairman started na wa started enya go edi ama Barcelona boboko no enti abranta ne dinade Ronald Arau esi anka mo bia nta se nani ade pa na ade ye nani je se o he go no players ni nyina ebe bam no edi support edi man no time ayi eniaman ko so players ni support Edimanity say when your teammate say anko no obey them and yanko baka konso Ronald Arau Eddie Eba we ebe pe na ye bisa ne head coach Hans Flick say Barca adwuma ne kwanso ano no ana no say na say Copa del Rey semi final ana munim Champions League no so the first 8 ni ye mu ne say ano say na ma table back no La Liga de no ye ne edin kan enti u bisa sa kwesi we anu ye ben pa ana me fama Barca koye Barca on course nyina good Edema Barcelona boboko no enti say bia we ye wa adwen say ebia Barca niam nko e dia wase yenka emo bia anta say Barcelona ene wo mo niam ma se o menu mo da ye so no wo mu guso mo keka ekọ ho kakra eno ya Hans Flick nkoba kakra wadi eba awoduma de so na player we tem bia me de akoda we beba bet nyame anim ne he ya say atoda bia ade bi o ha menhwe enye na wo be ya wie no football career ana say ade a wo ye obehu say na ehante wo saa sa anya say Mason Greenwood one ne girlfriend asemi ba ya anka say me big clubs away Europe nyanka obi ani abre Mason Greenwood esan say when statistics awo aye friendly Ghana ne ma nyina aye kama de makoda no 31 matches 22 goals 7 assists ana brante we INT such player anka nyame anim ni anka Bayern ne edinati anka Chelsea ne edinati bia Liverpool ani Arsenal bi na nko mu dia brante we yeti betaja enam ne girlfriend na no koye de aja oponti na no kakre bia no ani izi akwai ne bo na so bia huye na no da bi yeti say uko Spain na ene team bi ya o madwe say nko mo pen ne ade no mu ya supporters ni bi so mo say why na mo pe Greenwood akwa no bobo mana na aha on dey yempe no enti meso uhe bibia no ahwe ni because ede wani mu twa no enye na asem ebia 10 years later 5 years later obe say ede wani mu twa no na afi akwa so mene na ede how enso ade eba na dada ho fa Ngolo Conte another me baba ka to say obako fanabate na sa ne do no omo akata fanabate aliti ade fon kata fanabate say do ne de ebeko so ejina fanabate fon ankasa esa so mato omo de omo nye so meye de a ene omo ni problem bia no da wo mu wie sisi no 2 years contract ana wo mu edi ama ahofe Ngolo Conte until 2028 no time abante no ebetimi edi every team and team ade the part of fanabate eno ayankoba kakwan so menseka wo dwumade so na no pen no yedi abitini bi edita no ada terminate the contract nti wanya ba be sign edi amatimi na no reporter eba wo dwumade so na no pen no me eba nkoba kakra edi ema na reporter mense eka ayasa anasre once wono na aitia the phone kato mo se one person Ngolo Conte eba dia ene omuma akoda no somna na chese enema ensu enkoye na omochise enema na ene TMS won sensem no ase delay ni ade fanabate for ye de beba ye fa mani ade ombehu an se ade na chese mu twetwa ni ade nti ese ye so mbe contact FIFA na Oma se ebia problem bia mana obi abetumi afa ne player na Nasre atwene team Itihad na afefanabate enso fa ahofe Ngolo Conte enom aye reporter Benseka ewo dwumadi so na Christopher Nkuko the last 7 matches edema AC Milan akoda no goals nkwa na ose nyame anim ne against Sassuolo abrante ne assist ede AC Milan boboko the Haras Voronya wo here 2 goals against Fiorentina one or one go against Como when you go against Bologna Nota and also in Kuko and you go at the Ama AC Melan Bobo Konama for few sir Abranta me sent a bono Barnes Abba na Abranta Nidin at the Stanislav Lobotska reporter Mesaka from Aya Melan Kodemo Napoli okay Napoli crown so yes Abranta no Nasama yes Abranta Nyanko Obefi Napoli Bobo Konam esa say we didn't come out our body when you a new challenge and Kobepe and T over the top European clubs now when you European leagues in Libya Opaso Kono Kohese Gono Stanislav Lobotska and Yama Betimia Koye Edyaman and the Bona Wobo our Napoli in the same team and Obenya Ohana saying and the Besiako na so a contra the session and the man Napoli Bobo Kona yes strategic wampa Abranta so mo frena oh meba oh Monfanya meba be sense here what the meba be sign sa ebrane kwa na ekwa yesi Napoli Bobo Kona hu akoda no dia opese oye enyo no kwa once nano da against Chelsea na Napoli our player the team at the pato Antonio Vergara na Antonio Vergara akoda we when you born no papa it no ba ha no be unity Federico Chiesa sa yebeko we cap Chiesa boy akoda no boy no krampo ye Euros no boy akoda no boy ye hu ya na say ene Euros yi akoda na ba be gidi yati ya so yasi player bi ene David Fertesi akoda won so ball this year the pato Abranta ono edini dim Antonio Vergara na yasi nano da Gennaro Arvan Gattuso SN scout say omun community Abranta no Chelsea game no mu kodi ete kakra afe nano da wo mu game omun Fiorentina so boy no wo mu koya akoda na omo ya convince na set team na say the Azuris of Ile say omo fe Vergara na ono so benya game ni boy so ebibo ade yankoba kakra so etotwa wo dumade so na mamumfa munko ayalem rojuna na meaning koba kakra Chelsea head coach nie na another Chelsea dinto ana yewie na central for ya ten coach nante ana ebisa nse papa dia o players here body jwana ana so say ya kapa there ya say the match credit and the man players no bo ma bono nyame anim ne nani ati the players no ye pa Chelsea sa e kwa Chelsea in fact I say bembe so papa no when answer paso kan say calendar very choke as a Chelsea 3 days bi ombo game na ontimi nka ho 70 no ozi am players na bazo say I the 3 days be players in the game still na wo mu enso enya akoma esenya hoden edebo the next game matches no wati ono wayada players ni ye pa energy no come effort no ya amazing and James was incredible captain and a leader ono good pa afa João Pedro say was the performances are what matters in Bobo Kono outstanding professional player na Branton were very great and you bisa na Japan and also Kopama there or ye jam akodano when in born bo emum as a Chelsea take care of Kopama said there be a season obetuma boni na Adama Chelsea Bobo Kono na also results when you know that there were very disappointed as so on person belusu game and kono kobenya game bi obobo bia and kon say abasa na hante the pa ha ne pa emum Chelsea ntimi nwini sasem we ho as I said the next 3 days Chelsea our game bonti one better be dia bobo a when we are not game e do manim no akwakwa Chelsea Bobo Kono eno lem rojino nkoma kakra wadi eba e dwumade so we pepe Mikel Arteta head coach at Arsenal and you be say agbena eno anu no ana no so nyame anim nie sisi no final na no mo ekono Wembley no o medwa wi anasa na ni players no dia basketball dem e de bama na Chelsea a tough opponent papa say we ni Chelsea bo na winya sa result eno onya na say o man ani die pa na the boys no obo ma ba so esan say kwanya Chelsea for a boy editor in fact a brilliant athlete and Chelsea better say o create niam kakra and the flexibility bi pa na say ono so etime we ne was do say eno sa kwabna Quoting Neko and Kamankai was another mu kreti. I just saw 4 chances a pair. I know say as na kreti and no tese. Just game papa, but umutimi we need the game no at the end of the whistle. And him I know and Kowaka Kwansa, me pato Mikel Arteta. Edi to Jana Chelsea head coach Lem Rosino Eba and Mattis Arbonier. The first game now against Charlton, where we near the game at Tossum, you know, against Arsenal or Lutuye. The Tossum and say Brentford, where we near, or Perforce at Tossum, where we near, and we are Crystal Palace, or we near. It's a Napoli, or we near, and so West Ham United, or we near, and what we Arsenal, they're coming back to back now. Toss to me, I win Lembros, no, Messa, Adianum, and Yankoye, and Famano, and to report our Albania. Now, Bayern Munich bobo kona wọ́n say ọmọ kọ akọbie ọmọ academy baako ẹwọ California na ọmọ kyerɛ campus a ɛwɔ Germany no ɛno no ɛyɛ ha adwene kakra ɛsan sɛ player onya 15 ɔmro ɛyɛ 15 years anaasɛ ɔmro 17 years no yɛma ɔmɔ kwan ama Germany yɛma ɔmɔ ɛnso stay ni ade nti ade sɛ players na ɔmɔ hɔ na ana betimi di ɔmɔ yɛ sa academy na sɛ ɔba bɛfo bi player bi di fine ɛfiri bi US ne di na kosa kwabena wose ya na yede enti se ne be talenta ewo US ene around no betuma capital mu nyina enti no wo mu ba be academy e California na sa academy no mba be no California no wo mu se o mu Los Angeles FC awo yonkofa bi on pese mu se mu kina enti o be sa academy ne e ho de a players a wo mu fie ne mu 17 years a ye mo kwa mo free US enso nkono wo metuma nya sa players ni nyina na abo Bayern Munich boboko no ene ya de Bayern e de eba e wo duma de su Juve esi ankama obiante se na sama de omu play omu focus aya baako Sandro Tonali ana tese omu so ahwe se all eyes ni nyometime anya Sandro Tonali na fe wo ba besia kan e de ma Juve boboko no na uko Borussia Dortmund omu so omu monitor center back wonu ye Portugal ni ba nemom wesia kan e de Union Berlin na abante de din e de Diego Leite wonom ana omu monitor abante se wo munya akoda na ebe boye pa ama niam so aya kama e de ama no ye reporter mensa eka e odwumade so na no pe no make it kakra adi ama wansisha wodo so na ni wie ne krakrakra no ma memfa we emfa so emfa ba ma se kwabna sisi no asina boboko no o hekraba o kapa omoko final the forefront FA Cup anomo ana Uber League ni so mu na elite Afro Champions League no moko round of 16 into no utimi se Arsenal utimi je 4 trophies this season maniama kama enso de mom na enkrofo yi abasate fo boba so na wie ya kwabna he omo celebrate adom so na basa say ya kwabna den ya ye anya hwe kra yeso ye yima di da film no adom ni omo players no radi yakopo enkrofo ni mahim ana ba he omo no players ya di die pa ene omo fans no enso ejomene ene ye reporter eba na tiese ese no game no important the master so ma win na eno na Declan Rice say eno that Chelsea ball no omo boy and in fact na aye den pa de ma Arsenal so mo winning to dem obebo Chelsea abaso ye pa na me kwate ya kwabna yesi ko pa ma buafu ada na pa ma buafu ase tatis na Chelsea boy no I say tatis no nse den hu so kwabna na mpe we de ebiem na pe ko pa ma yi maintenance me be ka se mo ya ndi se enya no kra Chaze, ye de bekwati ya de anya no krama se Manchester United for. Bibia bekwati Manchester bi anya no kwabna. Nyame anim ne mo amu game ni bi ewie no. Ana mo amu wo abefo ntintan so no. Wan se no one ye di nkomo bi. Ya kan se no ne mado ke. Edi nkomo bi. Yes sa asem no na mo kan wan asem no. Se tatis no ana se momi ya bomu je ba ya sa anka ebetimi abone adade yaziko pa medwata sa eno mboy na we asin de obi ane na adwene ko hwe sawo chaloba also must stick to the plan ti akoji ka da no ano mo ye o manzi se bibia o mtino aduma de kama pa na ma me fa we fa so se de ama mu buafu no ayi ganato asem na okoka no kwabna wanka asem boni bio anu ananze ntofo eka so Arsenal de sem ko de ye kwa akwasem no so sa Arsenal wono obi aka se ho de ye win but na no da Manchester for kra what na Manchester for so but Manchester for kra ada
ago mu ade
we as no be person do atem nyansa we was sabi o enti babna o ya no so sabi o Manchester for kra so ba kwa Arsenal na ye Chelsea ni edimi ze ba kwabna za Manchester said in the Chelsea bit bi ahe enti Arsenal for apanese enti but o pe dia Ghana to kai na eno na ewo eye screen so enti abusia ma wi ye den krofa ma so nsem no edi esi enom si
okay that's it so no akogina ni so nti yɛni biribiara ka kyerɛ no beating Arsenal is not for the weak nti so yɛn koraa no yɛn koraa yɛtumi sɛ Arsenal so ɔkɔ yɛ sinisi ɔho sɛ deɛ ɛsi tie nti yɛni reply bi yɛde bɛma no anɔpɛ yi alright yɛnto adwumadie no so ɛmfa ɛma mo nhyɛ 104.5 midweek edition yɛ live ɛwɔ YouTube Nhyira TV mesrɛ subscribe channel no ma me subscribe wie a na odo message no makonyen okay enya yi na kra na okay ɛmfa me mmra so na sɛ ɛde me kɔ from the door alright enti awonsam no anche Fifi Manfred beba sansana Bismarck usi bempa yala enso beba na ye ransom na di nkɔmmɔ games a etodwa attitude the year for cup semi-final second leg course so our Emirates no Arsenal and Chelsea die embers of the game now referee the 6 minutes and the two so but according to the referee no say time of the 6 minutes and the two players need delay kakra into about 7 minutes into the 7th minute no and I can't have it egna the only go edema Arsenal say Arsenal at the call a final na I want some no at if you can ye pa awudumadi so but extra cash and megusua make house unyam register ya mesrawa da any register in term sene bia ebia na wo cash bi emergency bia bana dia sort out niam bia extra cash and so betimi abele out am bibia no I come pa dia ma na your registration very very simple so unyanya ya mpacho for phone CCA 99 started process no so for phone na bo star 170 hash me patcho options na beba no choose option 5 let's say call him the next option no choose option 3 the next option which is the last one udiwie dwedi no activity ayo extra cash no was say choose option 5 now you are good to go me patcho sika bia opebia no extra cash de bema eno ayo farms capital and this is kay ade ma wona afei also odi asort but said the bia no me advise me samo sika no ugiwia no otua in time so said bia de bia no awupe bia na unua bi nso upe bia ono nso benya sika de bi na odi aye de opeso de bia nti honsam no na me de abaya na wetimi aye registration no kama pa World Cup ne beba so nyame adoma 2026 in June na the eternal say Abis good esmen kanche Ghana ni bia titiru eni asanteman se World Cup ne peso ko hebia na so do ani kire na omoboa secure bibia kama eje visa edema na ye de na package full one eni e de ma wo full package in the sense that visa ne eni na ebeji de ma ye betwa ticket afei flight na wo de be kono so hunya kodu America kromu ha baby a wo du ti beto internal ayi obeyi yedina no transportation ni ade no ni dina ye nia na be ne kama edi amawo ye wie no okwa isansa Black Stars and outdoor support command inti no ye be sama Black Stars official jersey we nye enkwanje de ni bi Black Stars official jersey the players ni cheri bi no eno bi ene de be ma na afei okọ ayi US a so etimi akwa enti a full package na tie for the ten say individual ye be the amount and na the corporate monso bia say for example multimedia na bia pese the staff ekohe bia ni nyina ombe ne kama na omodem staff no enso akọ US no makọhwe ayi World Cup no enso ebi nti o ye interested me so me amount number bi from CCA na muni nkomo no emfanto so 0545 995223 eno ye Abis God group amo number no me pamcho ye won kran sakomo no ese janshi na ode frɛ na muni nkomo no emfanto so na afi ye visa na ma ekohwe World Cup no enso ebi cancelled mission eyadura eba nkyɛn na eyaduro bi a etimi pains papa atlantic pain ana bebia eya bia no me pacho cancelled mission na me kamfo ediama na no pense kotobi na onso na emwa wi pa ema honam yawo ni nyina no entu ase emfa ema edure eyenti no ese obia hyase etobi enti bisraw se wonya ntobi a na onso watimi ato de kama takwana na wo se nyame adom edibi aba eye komase no ko atonsu marketer me pacho se ope cancelled measure ɛduro no bi na wɔtumi anom no kama paa anaasɛ ɔbɛfrɛ number yi 0244 871 862 ɛno ɛyɛ cancelled measure mepatwɛ doctor number no ofra sɛ wopɛ dodoɔ tu na wakɔtɔn anaa wopɛ bi anom no wo nsa bɛtumi ɛnso aka bi kama paa rush energy drink mepatwɛ ɔsɔre yei nom bi sɛ wonya ɛnom bi di a ɛne mekamfo rush energy drink no ɛde ama sɛ ɛbɛtumi aboa wo yie paa na wadwuma a wokɔyɛ no nyinaa no ɛbɛsa ma extra energy so na watumi de aboa adwuma ɛberɛ a ɔmnte berɛ anyɛ sɛ ɛma energy no kɛkɛ wonte berɛ koraa ɛnti adwuma no from anɔpa to anwummerɛ koraa bɛyɛ aberɛ a ɔnte berɛ baako koraa gyensene wom vitamins wom ɛna caffeine nso wom a wei no side effect ɛbɛboa wo ama nso stay active na asan energize wo kama paa ɛno nti na sesɛ yi wobɛkɔ dwa so no so obiara ɛnom energy drink a ɛyɛ rush no ɛna ɔnom nti mpakyɛw nso ɛyɛ ana watumi atɔ bi na ɔnom ama biribiara no ayɛ kama ɛde ama wo ɛne anɔpɛ taptap deɛ ɛyɛ app a ɛde sane sika aburokyerefoɔ mekamfo de ama obiara country biara wɔ awɔ aburokyere mpakyɛw first of all bɛdownload the app no awɔ ɔfon no so sɛne ɛbɛyɛ a sika biara wode ba biara no mepakyɛw tap enso betimi de sika no ede abedru Ghana ha ede ama jojo African country bi na wa teach South Africa for no mo betimi ayusi tap ni bi US for Canada for UK Ireland France Germany ane Portugal na no obetimi ayusi tap send na ode asend sika no ede aba promo code ho no ha bon se wo send sika na ye ma option bi ye friend promo code ho no aya abo insurance from fashion ho se na be ya obenya chede enso ede afri ho na bibia no akonkan ede amawo edne anopay IMSOC mining and engineering training school na yeko na etie for de ten say IMSOC no e suku a wi a unsa metene fie onso school bebire ho a obewie no asa ba burden ede amabusua no because job market ne enjew enti ansa de akosua ne sebi emfaso bia enso amaso me patcho IMSOC mining and engineering training school dream pan say obewura into mining and construction and the IMSOC and a answer na say solution no me patcho yan course bebre welding fabrication ye bi awo ho enti weather for ni na no obetumi ko upgrade ho na onso de aba be yo aduma anya no nko a e ba na dump truck said the so operating a forklift roller backhoe grader bulldozer and excavator ni na no IMSOC and a do fancy 3 months na ye no de ten say practical and theory into usua buka now the practicals and so no at the account to be pie no utumi say yes onso wabene ewo adesua okosua ye enso emu about 206 na ode aye or registration ye wo oboase zongo me pacho Hansen dino na chiwo pe ho na IMSOC ye wo into fra chichi na abanso a obida hosta abedi uti abeto na wasua wade kama pa fen awo 0539 732 na money IMSOC for any command pay omo ene afufuro pika wona omaso yasena yedi dwumadie no ade mame yɛhyɛ dwumadie no ase na yɛwurawuram awo amane ne nsɛmnim ansana yɛde afisɛm no ade abramu Fifi Manfred Asijo ɔno na ɛhyɛ ase yɛde aman na wura hai anɔpɛ mani anhyɛ da angye me nua no ho koraa mani angye no de Kofi I know no it's not the Kofi I mean who no anɔpɛ wɔ studio akra Kofi one night. Good morning.
And then the Kofi I know.
What the Kofi I know?
Nothing has gone wrong.
Not the Dennis.
Oh, Grimsby, you film first round.
Open running.
Obiako semi-final now.
You are becoming a boss loser.
But what have I said? When I ask where me and I say you don't sleep with me.
First off, I started from coach. I feel I say a first conjunction.
I say
a first conjunction that Emma game now say Nyaman Kuyam Famamo. Forgotten say Arsenal almost body say
Manchester Casa.
And Gabi Trambo.
That
is what Gabi Tram said.
I also did not hear Gabi say that.
Maybe Tiana Nipania so
Mante. Una say and I'm saying Mante. And now you force me to hear.
Fatulo one to say Gabi Kase.
Oh, no, so one.
Coach say. A choir mo first boom games has 3 days, 2 days, no more games. Into affected players, you know. Into has a tiredness, Kakebu ho. Into Nama Arsenal again and Yaman Cosadie. Not Chelsea for Penano.
Mantinisa.
One Tinisa. Okay. Into and your fixture.
Mammy, you may. I must let you try, but we have a building. Ane.
Kami won nyumbia me body man anka.
You want to copyright I mean can be my
copyright. Oh David.
The committee na no so na wo say adwuma na. O da wo adwuma no so I mean can be my but copyright.
There is my line.
We have a line okay. Play the song here.
And you mo be a body man Chelsea.
Okay.
In fact, first time I hear born any in Timpacho TB Mamina and first started discussions.
But the Chelsea dear, what to players about go? Chelsea dear, what to players about go? Oh, what to players about go? What to players about go? The Chelsea top players, our body. Bakubia player Bakuton, Bakubia the Bagana Skema. Who says, Chelsea dear, what to players about go?
What to players is
Who is our to me? Our to me, your mania bassa fool. Exodio you. Now, bassa for you. I will tell you Chelsea down for I will and now, yesterday was the very first time me realized that Sena Edin Carabao. No, it's the sponsor of the competition, the Carabao Energy Drink. And your friend the Carabao Cup. Essentially, the name is the EFL Cup. Which, as I want to say this, as in Wenger can say beyond, or say Okwako bought the second leg of any tire. Their heading power is when you are up by 1 goal lead. Who's a AB I watch a 1-0. Okwako bought the second leg. In your head, you don't know whether you should go full throttle and attack, or you should sit and defend or lead. You know, if you defend your lead too much, now opponent let's say Kana, the game is blown wide open. If you go ahead and open up and you get a result, also you get it and then you take the opponent away. Which I think that was very clear in the match. You know. To be very honest with you, Obia Ope, the tactical side of the game, probably enjoy the game and especially in the first half.
Na game fair.
Because I can say 2 managers no elbow dummy and I say chess. We so we may yenchi obia kwakwa. Yembu obia first round. Na heading for one person to exert the football. In fact, Rich, for almost the full 45 minutes, tactically it was equal. And when he said, Maka said me several times, it looks as if Liam Rossinier favors more of the psychological aspect of the game than tactical. And no one says he's not good tactically. But as it stands now, he feels like that is the low-hanging fruit to taking advantage of at Chelsea than tactical. So usually in press conference, like he talks more about the psychology of the game, what the players did, the emotions of the game. But tactically apt. Rich, look at the XG difference. 0.95. 90 minutes for Arsenal. 0.68 for Chelsea. 90 minutes. Arsenal, 5 shots. Chelsea, 14 shots. Forget about the 14 shots now. Because that may be Arsenal, 5 shots to 2 are on target. Chelsea, 14 shots to 2 and they are on target. Now, look at possession. Chelsea, 56. Arsenal, 44. I want us to look at this game from the Arsenal point of view first. And then we'll come to the Chelsea point of view. Which, Mikel Arteta was in that dilemma that Arsene Wenger was talking about. Says, okay, 1 goal leader.
And I'm protecting your lead.
And I'll protect your lead. But do you know why Arsenal are too strong for a lot of the teams? Almost squad profile, and the squad building, is just so good that for those 2 sides of the coin, they have the players to play that style. Say Okajuma, or the players of Kajum. It was a clear case of, okay, yes, I may be in a dilemma, but I have what it takes to close up. And I'll tell you why it was clear. The back four of Arsenal and now were all fullbacks, were all centre backs. Julian Timber, the stock in trade is a centre back job that he has been doing for a long time. Piero Nkapi, centre back. He played William Saliba, centre back. Gabriel Magai, centre back. Solid back four. Then he played with two players who are more ball-sided in terms of the 6 and 8 in Declan Rice and Martin Ibanez Ubimendi. Had a better as a Martinelli, a better friend Noni Madueke and Victor Gyökeres in the team. For me, that was brilliant. Now, this is where you have to get it. Say, Uti what Chelsea were looking for in the game and how Chelsea wanted to go into the game and get the results from it. You understand? Which would ask the ball. Arsenal for Chelsea kita ball now. They almost always go and sit in a compact 4-4-2 mid block, and it was so compact. So compact. I said, very narrow. They said Chelsea will play through them. And they had the players to be able to deal with that. On the other side, for Liam Rossinier, I think the issue of players unavailability, for me, it's not necessarily about the games now, but the players are not made unavailable. Say ni two starting wingers and na omunyanya available from the start. Estevao Willian, Mekacho said there was no way he was going to start the game because he had gone to Brazil, and apparently he got to England a couple of hours before the game.
No pride,
but okay. I think they almost say a compassionate leave.
Okay.
I loosely reported say bit me I heard I was going to be the grandmother, not confirmed, but then the grandmother and how to do na say be and free. Then he came back for Pedro Neto. And Opana will prepare for the game, no? And a fitness test. And I want to say this, Rich, one Chelsea rotation. It is not the sporting directors that say that, oh, and a player will buy the chairman rainbow. Sporting directors know any team structure. I'm a doctor's not going to. The authority and then the willpower say. So, fitness test the morning before the game. Now he's any fit to go and play. They can tell the coach that now medically this player cannot play. Exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly, that's the point I'm trying to make. Say as a Chelsea sporting directors they catch away so watching a player in Mobi and as I say no. It is the medical department that has autonomy. I say that is what they do in explaining Chelsea's rotations. Don't be personal about it. And it was very clear according to Liam Rossinier. I said both of them could not pass the medical test and Opano. Joao Pedro Neto, any Abrante friend Reece James, that they could not play the game. So it means that Chelsea did not have Pedro Neto. They didn't have Estevao Willian to start. And then the game was going to be a little bit close. Liam Rossinier's game plan was that, okay, let's stay in the game as long as possible. Let's play the waiting game. And after the game, the journalist asked him a question, said, did he intentionally make the game more about the mind than the foot of player now? And also, there are different aspects of the game. Football, you're psychological, you're tactical, you're physical. There are a lot of the game. There's psychosocial. There's a lot of the part of the game that comes together to form a team and to go and win. So that is why he went into the game with Chalobah, Fofana, Jao Hato. Then played more or less like a 3-back, 2 wing backs in Malo Gusto Kucrea, Caicedo, Enzo, Andre Santos, then Dilap, and Abante Feni, Joao Pedro. But the full game plan was hinged on how Abante Feni, Joao Pedro, or Liam Delap can hold that play. And I must say, Liam Delap, only said, me who starting line at Mesre Kakra. And I wasn't surprised. Liam Delap has played under Liam Rossinier at Hull City. And at Hull City, that time, not as a right winger, so no born in Anna. He wasn't a striker then. Liam Rossinier was playing him as a right winger, so both of them know that he would have played it before. However, he has probably trained more as a striker for a very long time. That the requirements of some particular role last night, he didn't have what he took. He needed the ability to take players on 1v1. He couldn't do that against Piero Nkapi. He needed to be able to come short, receive the ball in tight spaces. He couldn't do that as well. And not fall short. However, it was always an outlet for Robert Sanchez to go long to him. So there were times where Chelsea bears some more pressing, almost starting no more man market. Arsenal players they beat me receive ball in tight spaces. And the game became cagier. That was the game plan of Liam Rossinier. Yeah, stretchy game, no. Second half, if the game opens up, then we can call on Kupama, we can call on Estevao Willian from the bench to come and do the job. And you see, me, I don't subscribe to searching so be a ball free flowing. I'm not part of that school of thought. At the end of the day, the game is about winning. And the game has become very economical to the extent that Obi Obeta Biaka said, "Boy, they say, oh, boy, I don't agree with you." And I remember when people were asking questions of Mikel Arteta teams of you're too defensive. I stood here and I said, at the end of the day, he has to win. And if he wins, that matters so less in the grand scheme of things. And that's why I know in the first half for Liam Rosinier, I didn't have a problem. However, I think Liam is making a small mistake, which is the time where the substitutions now. The effect of the substitutions, and then the time he made the substitutions for me was where the whole game difference was. Time all day, Estevao ne Kopama Bem. It was slightly over the 68th minute mark. I think it should have been the 68th minute. Kopama Estevao. Then you give them 30 minutes to come and explode. Time Estevao will land by again. He went to go and play on the left hand side. Very difficult for him. They switched him later on. Every time Arsenal are doubling up for him 2v1. And again, it was all the games where people will probably understand why Estevao is a player you have to manage well, especially in the English Premier League. In the Champions League, opponent ABM with a lot of space, you can play him because of ball retention. But in places like that, you need to be very careful. Rich, oh no, sometimes Liam Rosinier any changes, no, I have a problem with.
Rich, 60-65 days, normal.
I thought it should have happened on the 60th to give them 30 solid minutes for that. Because they have to warm
5
themselves.
minutes.
To warm themselves into and make us say Estevao the cowboy on the left and San was switching about right, which was very important. But Rich, see, the long and short of the whole conversation is Arsenal are just too strong, like I said earlier. Say they have to shut up shop and they say come and open them up. Only a few teams can do that.
It's good if you want to
but I'm saying several times.
We are admitting say Arsenal team now.
Chief,
it's not for the week to beat them.
I'm not part and now Arsenal will win the league. We've now realized that Arsenal can win the league.
Oh, come on.
Relax. I've been saying this for the other side. Was Kofi Arsenal for Mesa, but I've been saying it for years. Almost all day. We'll see it's good that it's coming from me. And I'm saying that I've been saying this for a very long time.
On Sano, but also Casan share that interaction. Do you know the reason why?
What's the reason?
Shamu say, I don't person enjoy open judge.
Me buy now the very first thing I'll carry and say, Oshemia Mentimianda. So I have to go. But I said this has not Mejumas Mechichim.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I make a living.
No, but another day you guys you play so well. Just that problem with the Chelsea team no. Set up near money more.
And then Liam was saying any players available.
Players man and available. One kasa start a win no pay. We dey pass off echo back. Never SG some critique.
But the game plan was
so ultimately created this SG now ultimately Shegwa. It means that I'm front of a problem.
Oh, SG near less than one.
No, I'm talking about a shot on target or so.
But say
no, they come back to the game. Any mistake. 14
shots, just 2 on target. So it means that they are not quality shots. And I make us say the X, is what determines how quality that chance was. So it wasn't quality. You over 14 and quality, you won't get anything. The game plan in itself was going to stifle Chelsea of this.
Yeah, catch them to the lap, no. On do Chelsea level. On no can be about 10 minutes to full time. Now the also no way good in terms of hold up. What I say, the defenders so now. Has o mo kakra na dia. But so say you start the game. But the lap because then
but any no Liam Rosinier catch us say any players na net bench. Maybe like the lap and the Liam Rosinier doesn't start.
Is it one and capable?
Joao Pedro Nesta, Sanka right hand side, Pedro Neto Nebebo. Then if Kopama is there, they play in there. So
Pedro is as a goose, in Jedamasa.
Joao Pedro. Pedro Neto.
Joao Pedro has a name.
Joao Pedro against West Ham, or against Napoli.
The goals, again and now inconsistency near those.
The play has.
If you are bad, if you are Zano Sashi.
Player this season strikers yet.
Can be our ones.
And it means I was means up a puppet, up as all Kamakas and Matienko, I brought them in one yard.
Mati,
hey, boss,
because all your puppets in Pacho.
But said me,
who did you have a puppet? German
Pacho say, Joao Pedro this season. What's a double figures? On no near Kitiki. I in Bao striker Koteni Baku, on also 3 goals and 1 goal. Obejina have a panic shower, Bompires, for me as a Chelsea fan, this was the pointer I felt really sad because Minister Chelsea for be by the 90th minute. Not the plan was that okay. So the game winning match we crampona. Yenfa 0-0. Let's get a draw here because Chelsea in the last few games against Arsenal it has been very very tough. 0 Premier League wins since January 2026. 0 Premier League wins. Played 3, drawn 2, lost 1 between July 2024 and January 2026. Between managers Pochettino, Frank Lampard, Graham Potter, Enzo Maresca, and Liam Rosing, all of them have not gotten wins against Arsenal. So a draw probably could have been good. Which after the game now Wesley Fofana soon. And I know a lot of people probably will not understand this. Wesley Fofana and Adam Fopani William Saliba. Both of them had grown through the Saint-Etienne Academy together. To me, very good friends. There was this interview where Wesley was saying, "Say, so many Arsenal Kobobiana." He tells William Saliba, "Say, under unknown time, he will get results better than him against Arsenal." At Saint-Etienne, they used to rate him better than William. But as it stands now, William obviously a miles ahead of him because of a lot of reasons. And now it was another night where Wesley Fofana was crying. But for me and to a lot of Chelsea fans, the sun will shine again. Solid performance from Arsenal. They were the better side on the day. Okay. Defensive, offensively, everything. Arsenal for now good, and you just can't take anything away from them. There is the other leg of the EFL Cup semi-final and Bono, the Etihad between Newcastle and its team, my friend, Manchester City. Now, Newcastle are the defending champions of the trophy, last season, they were very strong. All of me Arsenal for free, and I'm called final Kokoji. This season, the results of Newcastle has been somehow. In fact, Man City shared the first leg, and in the league as well, they have not been performing particularly too well. And I think that it may be something about affecting. Now, Utie Eddie Howe on the preparation for the game, I'll say the second goal in the first leg was a big disappointment for us, coming so late, but we still believe. We believe we have the players that can go into the stadium and the world and perform and score goals, according to Abrantia, your friend Eddie Howe, which expects so many Manchester City match now. Which Abedi is going to be very tough, especially at the Etihad, with a 2-goal advantage for Manchester City. I think it's a game where Manchester City are going to qualify. I don't know whether they win in regulation time, but it's a game me expect Manchester City are going to qualify. Finally, Barca kwa wetu abesete kwa yejuma.
2-1.
Now, my problem ke 12 with Barca team no. In 2 matches, Barca have had big chances in quad 21. They've scored just 5. And
how many chances at 21?
Big chances.
Big chances.
Big chances 21.
And almost say 5.
5 out of the big chances. And now Marcus Rashford chance of Babese or Parker. So I was wondering,
what was our solution now for my team?
Robin Lewandowski, many Juma matches before. I work for the people that listen to Nhyira Power Sports. And now Robin Lewandowski, the kind of chances of Messi and you look at even Ferran Torres same. And I was asking myself, these are Barca boys a couple of weeks ago. I was hailing them for the amount of goals that they were scoring. But it looks as if they are missing chances. The good thing for Barcelona is Ronaldo Araujo was back and he scored. Good confidence for him. Hansi Rita Flex said he would want to build on that. Again, Lamine Yamal Ebanes Nazraoui, like I said yesterday, is picking up at the right time for Team Friend Football Club Barcelona. And Barca will hope, say, Lamine performance will be good. Straight into the semi-final of the Copa del Rey. Every Barca fan will not care about the chances and now because they're in the semi-final, especially against a team upsetting Madrid for no. If they win by 2-1, okay, then that is very good. Rich.
Good.
And now boys need winning combination of almost about 20 odds. Right. 11 odds and 7 odds. And now, and I've said it, say, if as it stands now, you still wait there, then I don't know for you. I'll just do my job by putting it out. Because Betway is no pebiano. Me fa quotes in the mauna, nye bi netwa nedi. And see Rich and the first code no a BW 38 C6 F887. Second code no a BW 38 C6 E5 E5. Third code no a BW 38 C6 D7 6 1. Fourth one a BW 38C6 D341. And the last one here BW 38C6 BC6B. Mr. Nhyira, catch us say Obon Pay no go so I fa pa o.
Ti enema bobi egu so. Green. And so now be a
Can uncle senior man dey ni.
Very fine.
No predict Saturday number mo.
Okay, Fifi Manfred and Mate Nenkano. Collins in Ketia say, please, Richardo, you need to apologize to Kai Havet. And I both game ya and I'm see pitch and so. And officially, me apologize to Kaisa Simbia Macafano Biano on fire and Chimti Collins Pamcho. My apologize to the guy and no or shaman munyam. I'm in call for no mukufi kwa oman fari and so anko enti update meet me the amount I don't know and as nyako if you go explain tire and po cheche musa so the kosi and say you on free. Okay, you told me the say 4.5 Captain Zion say only 2 players and you are out here complaining on this 2 players you cry here at a point back up Bobby in Kupama neto ne nkwa na ntimi amobi ba no pay ase free no mo free yo sa 2 players ninti ana amo ntimi anhye Arsenal afede wan so say Arsenal team they are too strong to the extent said you be face Arsenal bia e want so mu defend they can defend so mo attack so they can attack you nti anyway mo na mo the best judge am betimi ajaje Arsenal nti no ya to so na pesma go su empire la and so the games no na Arsenal and Chelsea game no and the Benjamin Man City are born Newcastle the 2-0 and na Aaron Copa the rain so na Basati et if you Barca could try me come you know mo take no back of course Copa Italia our Italy quarter final so no Inter bebo Torino any other issues I wo manini na no Bismarck osu empire land so fiengrem na yenu komo na ewia ye de fisem no atwa so Aya, good morning.
Good morning.
Bibi aboko de.
Onyame adom bibi ay fine.
Ede me ase.
Na ona ya man you uko the streets of Riyadh. Rich light poles e wo ho no. Ebi mu de san for me we akwa ko bon. We na ro sire mi so ben no. Uni maybe
Omode Cristiano Ronaldo a process abobo light post say or missing
so no so the last time on board game one bobby now on the bench
na so okumo
yes I went to call strike nti supporters ne there almost omo baby around here no na mi busa say meaning say a lot of Manchester United fans Cristiano Ronaldo
me there Ronaldo true and true
nti ya we no won na
oh say ayi for no be me kaka dank me ti ashon baby oh I'm going to salary no mommy and I'm in trouble we on now oh
still no you see tempest and cool down yes and that's the leader of the NSA team. He wants to leave. Now, mommy make a correction be. And I hear Ronaldo story, no. I think so. We got it wrong with the salary, no, any original. Okay, to be approximately right on the figure, which Ronaldo is taking £488,000 a day.
Say,
meaning say, if you convert to dollars, then you are going to get $500,000 a day.
Every day, be also yeah.
Yes. By the time I did the Korea, Ronaldo is getting in pounds £488,000
so
a day.
Because
Exactly.
There was this guy. No, the message never is it a day or a week?
A day.
Now sorry, dear.
Yes, Rich.
$500,000.
Yes, dollars a day. Who is that Ronaldo contract now? And yet just the football now Obama and so no. Rich, there are some image rights, any ambassadorial role. Who's a Saudi Arabia so most still work up
no.
And he's part of the ambassadors. It is sir, no money in £488,000 a day. But still Ronaldo seen an injury. Now Michael Emiliano Rich, they will have to. I also want to form. I'm sure it will affect the Saudi Pro League. You know, meaning say you for any aji. Simply because say yes, obi ko ana or chinchen na say. Since me start to say me probably saying go look at it. Rich, he has never come across as someone or stubborn. But Enra, do you know say to make me move from El Nasser to Etihad to Fenerbahce? He had to fight the system. Eventually, they had to terminate his contract. And now, Anopay, so Fenerbahce up report to say Omasa Ngolo Conte, and they've also switch El Nasiri the other side. And even Ebema, the superstars in the Saudi league, some will want to move at all costs, do whatever it takes. Some will be instigating the movement, and some are on strike, and some are unhappy. Until a problem they have to solve. But the correction is that Ronaldo seeking £488,000 every day.
That's sorry, it's
$500,000 every day. The highest paid footballer ever seen so Rich, and he is on strike. He is missing.
Ayala, next word be I'm say bono. You nimbo grievous yabo. Say ye humbo cry. Can be as is your bono. And also every day. Oh, sorry, $1 million.
Regina, football in the bro, we are seeing you be any Ronaldo.
Ayala. Or also, he's a week grano. So let's say Bobo England. Now we give you £20,000. This is good money.
What, Rich? You see?
Bless you, dear.
Earning a lot.
Full to
Rich. Earning a lot of money also comes with a lot of responsibility. So,
and how do you do? How you do that? You very look at me first. I am Yama.
Rich,
where is Rosca?
And we are Barcelona for no Real Madrid for Masters. No. Whether you watch the game or not, minimum expectations there. But Sena watch it. Abeseti for now, you know it was not going to be a cheap game for Barca. But overall, I think say throughout the game, Barca were able to manage them. Barca dominated possession. Barca were more dominant with the ball. Almost say masters. There were moments at Abeseti for almost chances and moments in the game. Fair enough. But even with those threats in the crown, Barca defended very, very well. Then came the 2 goals for Barcelona. A Kame Barca for the nets. I've been said for the Betis Kane Bako. You had 5 minutes or so. Within the 2 minutes of the 5 minutes, a kaki too heavy. And I've been said for the Etika and a Gerard Martin had the ball off the line. But overall, may I so say, even I've said to Fono get to say, look, we met a better side. We met a side of more matured, or more quality in the show, and at this level, or more no be brave at the chair. Barca has been able to get the adversary job done, and we are aware or more qualified to the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey. Now, in the context of the Copa del Rey, I can say Barcelona is the most successful club when it comes to the Spanish FA Cup. Omaji Chin Club Bia, and they take it serious too. And progressing to the semis, you know, very, very good for club your friend Barcelona. So only Barcelona typical fan be didn't come about this game, which Omasami Bakope, the way they are happy for Ronaldo Araujo. After somewhere Tono, he had to go for a rehab near day. Yesterday he came wearing the houseband or starting game, you know, and he scored the second goal after Lamine Yamal Ashe, the first one for Tima, your friend Barcelona. So there were a lot of good things. I know Barcelona qualification to the semis, Lamine Yamal finding his form again, then Ronald Araujo, the captain, and so on the score sheet, adding the confidence back into the team. Rich, this Arsenal dream, you know, it takes the end of the season for people to wake up. But for some of us, Yaka say this Arsenal team is a very, very, very good team. No? Anytime they go into contest, that they are expected to show their character. No? Rich, they make some of us believe say our analysis about them is right. And we are Arsenal a bookie or more a ticket to Wembley as finalists of the Carabao Cup by beating Chelsea Football Club 1-0 at Emirates, making it 4-2 on aggregate over the two legs. Now, Rich, Ubejedi said in the last 10 games at Arsenal, any Chelsea abono, Chelsea is Arsenal in the last 10. And yeah, over the last 5 managers, Abe coach Chelsea, none of them have been able to beat Mikel Arteta. Graham Potter, Lampard, Pochettino, Maresca, Liam. None of these past 5 coaches at Chelsea and Anna Ometimi Ashe Mikel Arteta. Now, Enra, Mikel Arteta win now over Chelsea. No, Rich means since obey a manager, say open club and watch the do power. 2 clubs, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Chelsea, 10 times. Mikel Arteta seems to have the magic one when it is Chelsea. But Rich, another game, you know, was a little bit complicated and difficult. Now the difficulty, you know, is that it has been said, say Ubo ties 2 leg. Now we go into the second leg, you know, with a 1 goal advantage. A big issue the man who coach, you know. Who could be able and now to protect the lead. And now you are going to find the balance. And how are you going to approach it? Because for the one disadvantage in the when we saw about the Tineka, why yes, our film, and I clear what he needs in the game. But for you, anyhow you approach it, say no more become you will come under criticism will be rich. For instance, people come and say, who could give no 1-0 advantage? Who will protect and what could be any show? Me work. So someone will say, but you were good enough to carry 1-0 advantage because you open up and you were able to win. Yes, so why will you come home and come and defend? It is very, very difficult to play second leg with 1 goal advantage as a coach. But Mikel Arteta try adiebi, which in terms of sending Nimna was the Arsenal team formation wise, he went with the same thing 4-3-3. Kepa, Timba, Henkape, Magehe Saliba, Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, Noni Madueke, Gabriel Martinelli, Victor Gyökeres. And see, at least in terms of the principle of the new Oriya friend Mikel Arteta, he didn't change. 4-3-3. He went into the game with that. And when Entiase say, okay, he knew I have to play my normal game. Some of them in normal game. At least from nominal positions, any formation, players him say that is what we play here. We will be able to get the results. But inside this normal Arsenal 4-3-3, were the real action of Mikel Arteta as a coach. But Rich, you can't say same for Chelsea. Chelsea tweaked their formation and went for a 3-back Fofana, Chalobah, Hato with Malo Gusto Cucurella as wing backs. Then Osasane midfielders our in Caicedo, Andre Santos, Enzo Fernandez. Then decided to go with 2 strikers in a typical 3-5-2 for Clubber Yeferi Chelsea. Now, Rich, when we say Liam or Strasbourg, no, 3-back na obo, but Oba Chelsea on Bobida. Enti, at the end of the canal and Nhyira, he will decide to go this way. Now, Makase, say coach decided to overboard formation here. The interpretation of the say the review it's up to you. But Rich, what was Liam looking for with 3-5-2 now Obono? For me, and Utie the post match now, or say panditry wayebida airfo pa. O chena waje obi adwuma ho airfo.
Ba you Rebecca Chow.
Yes, but
what it nkonwa ni ma na mo checha again.
I'm chair coaching. But the only thing say you fit TV no so any studio only do Bedia Park no so. There are only 2 things involved. If decisions are all taken, only results will vindicate you. Which Enra or change board track no. Sanka only ni game na ko yi Arsenal. Imagine I'm a penka someone can go for the car. Say it's a tactical master class. But because results now go you, and most of the time analysts we do our analysis based on the results. The first criticism and say, why will you play 5 defenders when you know say you need to also ticker our game bimu?
But the team ben on Neko is Arsenal.
But Rich, he who is down fears no fall. Whether it is Arsenal or a combination of Barcelona Real Madrid, you are down by a goal. I also compete.
So again, Ayala, so Kwen will be him. And I'm getting a band here so Arsenal Chelsea 4-5. The same supporters will come.
I have already against you. I have already laid that premise. But I'm saying he said results in the first criticism to him will be Argentina who pekati. Where you need to score in the game. Because any game Keponene Bank Arsenal they don't even need to score. But why would the Cincinnati why will you play 5 defenders? Arsenal imponent now a lead to protect. Decided to play the normal 4-3-3. And the one yes sir. But which this formation gave Chelsea a lot of numbers in midfield. Because the interpretation of formation, you know, it depending on who are shining, who are walking. Look, say Obibo 3-5-2. You can say it is 5 defenders when you bring the wing backs to defense. But you can also say Cucurella and Gusto were midfielders, giving Chelsea 5 players in the middle. And Nhyira, for the first time, I don't know if you were observant. So Arsenal 4-3-3 now. Most of the time, I am Martin Zubimendi in the Nhyira defenders name in Meboa. But Nhyira wasn't like that. Nhyira throughout the game, they now hit deep Arsenal 6 and 8, was Declan Rice. Why? Didn't you know Mikel Arteta and say, Rich, I saw him bring Declan Rice closer to the 4 and 5, So Declan Rice also can shadow a three back. Now on so Etimia pussy Henkape and Julian Timber into the middle to get the numbers with Martin Zubimendi. And you know so shady power. Arsenal wanted to match Chelsea numbers now on when they are starting by pushing Declan Rice as a decoy centre back and central midfielder, which is so unusual about Arsenal. And on Martin Zubimendi Elko as a number 8. So they can push Julian Timber and Henkape to join the midfield. No numbers, no me and pocket Chelsea for no toe to toe. Which you're born first half in the year. Next game now a tight armor. Arsenal SG of 0.18. Chelsea were SG of 0.16. Obia was short 3-3. Obia shot 3 on only one of them were on target, but Chelsea had dominated possession 56. Then comes why and for criticism and Liam also make a little sense. Which yesterday second half now, look at the time. 57 minutes. 57 minutes. Then we saw him say, I am throwing in Kopama, any Estevao, Hacho, any Dilap out of the team. So Rich, 57 minutes, let's say 58. He takes Hacho out of the system. Then bring Kukuera back into number 3. Na Ombo, Wesley Fofana, any Chaloba and 4 and 5. Then bring back Malo Gusto as a number 2. Sanya he can bring in Kopama into the number 10 position and take Adranti FN Estevao to the right hand side of the forward. Na Dilap Embo on the right. Na João Pedro Emina Nenimho. So Chelsea then also switch into a 4-3-3 like this, and I say a 4-2-3-1. Anywhere you want to put it. Now, Rich, Chelsea here is source of substitution. Me makase, I did this Arsenal team. I am strong in my eyes. I am dynamism.
Okay.
What is so no said there?
Arsenal, audio omdibesha.
Oh, they are built for these things. Rich, there is no team to say we are here. Or very, very good lateral defenders. Are physically strong. They can match you on pace. No matter when you are standing toe to toe 90 minutes. I say Arsenal. Especially when they have Julian Timber. 3 o'clock you can play and you can play Carafiori. Or maybe now a raw blood to do that. Until Arsenal showed their metal. Say, even though Chelsea brought in attackers, Estevao, Kopama, or making the game no any adeno, they have what it takes to also stand up to them. Then Mikel Arteta brings in Kai Havertz. So say, look, I am going to make the attackers about to influence the game. Me so make me the Trossard about, make me the Kai Havertz about, and Omo can offer me something different when it comes to Omo bet other pressing. No more defending anything you counter attack because baby I do know no chasing you have to get the goal. But most of the first legs say come na say about pass no more anymore. They can also counter attack and win the game, and they did that to perfection. And no NMR which your pro game now from 0.18 Arsenal mom up 0.94 in SG from 0.16. Chelsea could only afford 0.68, even though they made early offensive substitution. Arsenal great, and Omoka is so strong and tough. Rich, that is what is winning Arteta trophies this season. The mentality of the team, the dynamism of the team, and the way we see the players were 2 players. They can stand every test to be able to media momo. I was football this season. Rich, they have to also made a doping test.
Bono, and now, or you attack me, maybe. Ave Mikel Arteta, you know,
Look,
I go again,
the guy is a beast of family fodder.
I'm telling
you. And no Bobo, so we tell me, I feel no Toguso. And so ordinary people, 18 people, or so yes, and I so or said now they're not the cover ball. This guy is a beast, and he showed it in the game against Tima. Your friend Chelsea. Kudos to Arsenal. No, Rich, can't have it shame go to. Then he pointed to the Arsenal crest. Then come former Chelsea player there.
Oh no, maybe that.
Oh, but there's some respect to your team. Oh, what the watch you can even jubilate. But you say this is where I belong now, Nadia. I think it was a deep swipe to Tima, your friend Chelsea Football Club. Arsenal did very, very well. And they were able to get what is needed out of the game, and then they are making it to the final, built on solid defense, very, very good midfield, and they can punish you if I will say Omo punish you. And see, Mikel Arteta has built a very, very good team. City Kupa 2-0 no they call Newcastle defending champions. Rich, we be able to make a game
because Man City. City are in defense, you know.
We be able to make
shaky.
We be able to make a game with them. The only problem at Newcastle was, and so say they are missing some players. Into even so share probable 11 now. You see Warlock, you see Ramsey. It means Gamares are not to play this game, and I say okay. But with Anthony Borden and Murphy, at least Newcastle will and they play into the hands of Pep. No, 2-0 they reach. I also should go in Temu. Why we na o ma game no ko second half. Game na yakọ nyina na say who free man no. Enti o person take antem. En na be ma Pep say look o dey me anteta omo. Ye teta omo no mo ba so mbepa omo kanatia. Ye ba asem anyomo ne we mo betimi at free, then they can give us what we want. The Emi say Pep is not getting this guy this Belgium attacking Doku. Yes, because almost when you calf injury.
Okay.
Kadem when in the game against a team or Peccat into Bani and Jano. Yabona and Kabama don't go the Trenica, but they are not getting. I think Antoine Semenyo will give Manchester City that kind of outlet. I'm predicting say our Wembley Norwich in the Carabao Cup final. You Arsenal against Manchester City, and that will be a very, very good game to watch. Only say. Rich, maybe code no airline. Na maybe can resume and once and sana maybe code naba no. You say Rich, Arsenal last 3 finals on mabo in a Carabao Cup ni omo lose.
Okay.
Arsenal last 3 final on mabo in a Carabao Cup ni na no. Omo LOC L20. I idea was a guiding Mikel Arteta if he wants to correct the wrongs. Analysis here will tell you say you dey. Say you da Liver International, omo product efani Rexona deodorant and ede ebreo deodorant papa pie wo dwama so say the Rexona deodorant no. It is the number 1 deodorant I wo dwama so na ma me kan che odi ntia number 1 no. Number 1 a bowl who by 72 hours. Udi bu amoto mo 72 hours 3 days. So undare onye hwe you still feel it our body. Number 2, some bacteria na eme fifre etiro na man kakaka ba ho. There is a technology in this deodorant. So udugu omoto ma eme fifre mpo entel na enka no aba ho. Sa antibacterial technology no e deodorant and ewom ne ewom yie enti na wo so to. Bi toto be e to deodorant bia okwa ansa be kabi. O provision shop na ben area hono supermarket na ho hono mall hono baby a to deodorant bia okwa na ka so mama Rexona 72 hours na onsa ebe cabinet de bia me ka say ye was sporting Ford no crowd here deodorant here ye kan wasemi Rexona de a sponsor to CAF, to FIFA, to Real Madrid. Nancy Mon no more year with Ghanaian clubs. Into your career, or more year now for 4 precope. Into myself, sir, a deodorant abacoton quadia, Mano Enya Rexona, a deodorant no ebi. So, open Bibu tour. Mammy and Cancho say, oko Daddy Ash ne store na ewo kanshi opposite Advanced Savings and Loans na onsa ebetimi akadodo o takrade nso a market circle adjacent car bank hono Daddy Ash store ba ko ewo ho uba kumasi a edum market ho Mrs. Anoche Plaza opposite Boss FM hono Daddy Ash ewo store ho open dodo a obetimi etu ediama obetimi afre Daddy Ash ewo 0244 772599 0244 772599 and Daddy Ash nkwa Beauty Glow enso so shopper also okwa obenya restaurant bi na watu akwakoton Beauty Glow 2 shops edum near Asempa Pharmacy ho Tegetia Dubai enso so shop number G1549 Ben police station no also onsa ebetimi akomo Tegetia opposite gate 8 honoma baby bank GBC CBG bank no onsa ebetimi akom won kan so a Beauty Glow store Makola Mall and Makola Central Market once so omo shop ho ubetimi afro zone 4 0543 384 958 0543 384 958 na otimi any omo atutwe enkomo ho rich mama wo code menu bi na ene midweek na ode aye osamba ese nkofo di bet nti se the code ba na wo so 130 we menu pe first one BW 38 C8 AC2D and BW 38 C8 EAA6 will two course BW 38 C8 AC2D BW 38 C8 EAA6 we go in the socials na onsa ebetimi aka yan watwabi na midweek yetimi edi na ochina yabaro tonso
insurance of 4.5 yen to adwumade no so emamo kwasi amufo abusa question bi Chado is Samanyon not captain me patcho derby and are eligible to play for Man City. Previously the anka won't be more but to say Omo Asasa aye Emranim Tino. He can play for Man City and there and alright. Ma yenin komo kakrebi na fe yemefi emehwe house of folk in Sensema. Kwame Oparado and so edia to jaba omo new managing director amon so etimi enyano awo club nim yedi apomdi some kakra bi yene cement vita herbal mixture and capsules adro now street no so a obia fe no agan yene nkomo kakra na yemedi house nkomo no emfa ento so emfa momo obapa good morning
Richard
na I want to say
nyame adom ene de na mi se me ba na me ho abada ha
ana me twon ayeni komai agan
again baby I drama so ebu baby Richard and pay the medencha nko e free Dr. James Amoa our yakofa by our Pemsan Company Limited ano e de maw ene etiefo nyina so and pay oba pasma bet na ha na eye mapomuden ho nkomo e na menemo e ba betwetwe se de da ne da ye no and pay me bisase so apomuden etesen minya ba ma and pay wutie me ana wo hwe me bomoden ase wusisi na eye wo ya no honam ya obebrebe no da ne da wo kwa adwuma wo pon a wo mafie ntem obi o kra pon ntem kra na still no complain ne honam nyina ye ne ya ne sisi ye ne ya misrent na ho ma ne nyansa bomoden a na kokope Pemsan Company Limited ye nro mienu a ye de aba adwama so a eye Siemens Vita Herbal Mixture and then the capsules and a fay pre natural powder ni bi akira kwan neto nenonom se de be ya wusisi ya de honam ya obebrebe na da ne da wo complaining no eso ebetumi ate ede amount obi wo ho a no complaining se na koma ebo ne peri as a 100-meter race no okobi nenso so ono kra exercise 1 minute kra wenye bi da ne dance no odidi gum no ye koche oba no denden enche ube wobɛhu sɛ no wakrima hwɛ mesrɛw ɛntina hɔ ma ne nyansa kɔkɔpɛ Siemens Vital Herbal Mixture ɛne ne capsules akyiri akwan na no nom bi sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɛduro yi ɛbɛdi wakagyina mu ama nipadua ne nso so atumi anya ahoɔden ma panada ne da no watumi atu anamɔ wɔ abrabɔ mu mesrɛw obi wɔ hɔ a na ɔkompleni ne nsa ɛne ne nan nyinaa ayɛ titiriti a kyɛ sɛ ɛntini no ne ntini no mekyerɛ veins no emu asisi ɛne nti mogya ɛntumi nni afiri sane yie ɛnkɔ all the vital parts of the body ɛkɔba ne saa na kyɛ sɛ numbness ɛno ɛne titiriɛ no wobɛhu sɛ ɛde ne ho agyim afei ɔte hɔ ana ne nsa ne ne nan sɛbi ɔhyɛ mpaboa koraa ne ɛfiri tɔ a ɔnhu sɛ mpaboa ne ɛhyɛ no no awra tɔgye sɛ obi na prɛ no na waka kyɛ ne sɛ mepa akyɛ wo mpaboa no ɛfiri atɔ ansa na n'ani aba ne ho so mesrɛ ɔkɔkɔpɛ Siemens Vital Herbal Mixture ɛne ne capsules akyiri akwan sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɛbɛboa wo mesrɛ nnuro no sɛ wotɔ ahyɛ ne nsɔm ayɛ ɛmfa wo pɛ nnom na mmom bɔ mmɔden ne frɛ yɛn ɛwɔ 0244 718 557 0244 718 557 and afei 0241 604 702 Mr. Friend number C na any doctors no entwetwe nkomo na omo nkyerɛ wo sɛdeɛ wobɛsi fa no maduro no obi wɔ hɔ kra na yɛ lifestyle ho ne die emu etesen emu nsɛm no etesen ne nyinaa ka ho bi ɛna yɛ ampempi no etakɔfa nyarewa ahodoɔ pii ɛde bre nipadua no enti wɔn nsa ka aduro yi bia na wabɔ mmɔden afrɛ numbers a yɛde ato dwa yi na wɔne doctors ne nso so atwetwe nkomo sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wɔn bɛkyerɛw na wɔn hu kwan a wɔbɛfa so ano maduro no na wɔn nso so atumi enya ahoɔden ɛma ne mɛɛma no a mo low libido mekyerɛ mo amatenka atekɔ matenka ewuo no aduro ebetumi aboa mo asama masɔre agyina brane ɛyɛ Siemens Vital Herbal Mixture ɛne ne capsules aduro yi awieye bre mu ebu mfumpa wɔ baabi a bɛkɔ bi a yɛse ɛto sen agan no ɛyɛ papa bɔmmɔden anema wɔn nsa ɛnka yɛ nnuro yi bi sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wɔn nso so wɔ mɛɛma yɛ ɛne wɔ maayɛ no ɛbɛkɔnkan obi wɔ hɔ a na ɔkompleni ne ti fa ɛpae ne pa ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa ɛma na mo nso mo menses ɛma yie no obi wɔ hɔ a ne menses ɛba kora na ɛba ko obi wɔ hɔ ɛba na yaw kɛseɛ paa ɛtaato mesrɛw kɔkɔpɛ Siemens Vital Herbal Mixture ne capsules ne bi na ɛmmoa wo afei kɔkɔpɛ yɛ Precare Natural Powder na sɛ Precare Powder ne kyerɛ akwan ɛsiane sɛ ekuta neuroprotective properties ahodoɔ pii ɛne phytochemicals a ɛboa boost immune system no sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a sɛ empo no ɛnyarewa bi ɛbɔ kɔkɔɔkɔ ɛwɔ nipadua anim a ɛbɛtumi apam saa nyarewa no nyinaa ama na akɔfaa away mesrɛ ɔbɔmmɔden anema wɔn sa enka ye nnuro papa yi bi sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wɔn nso so daa ne daa no wapɔmuden ebetumi akɔnkan numbers ne biem ɛyɛ 0244 718 557 ɛna afei 0241 604 702 mesrɛ ɔkɔkɔpɛ aduro yi bi tɔ wonya agan no ne nsuo ɛne ne topaeɛ no mienu koraa wɔhu na afei wapɛ Precare Natural Powder na Precare Powder ne nso mienu ataato na kyɛsɛ bibia etumi akɔso de ama wo mesrɛ hyɛ ne nsomayɛ ɛsɛ wokɔtɔ aduro no a ɛmfa wo pennom enti ne de numbers no atodwa no frɛ doctors na wo de wo how bia nipadua ne namu no ka kyerɛ ɔmo nso so bɛbɔ mmɔden a na ɔmatumi aboa wɔ saa kwan ne so ama wo enu papa yi bi na ɔma kyerɛ wo sɛdeɛ wobɛsi fa anom aduro no yɛnwe Richardo so obi pebi atɔ na obi pebi akyiri akwan a Kumase ha deɛ yɛato apete ha baabi a wokɔ PFA pharmacy a ɛwɔ Tafuni Road a wobenya nnuro yi bi na watɔ sɛ wutu akɔtɔn sɛ wopɛ ne baako no wokɔ a wobenya bi Colinac Herbal ɛwɔ Ashtown afei Freddy Mens ɛwɔ KO Rock Pillar Herbal nso so ɛwɔ KO Danny Herbal ɛwɔ Mrom okɔ a wobenya yɛ nnuro yi bi na watɔ Enkran so ɛyɛ Repage Ventures a ɛwɔ Kaishi Drug Lane wokɔ a mama Repage ɔbɛhwɛ wo kama na wama wo yɛ nnuro yi bi atɔ mo a mo wɔ Tachiman ɛne ne mpɔtamu ne nyinaa so ɛyɛ Humble Mother Pharmacy Humble Mother bie mu kuha wokɔ a wobenya Siemens Vital Herbal Mixture ne capsules ɛna afei Precare Natural Powder anaasɛ Precare Powder ne bi na watɔ na wo nso wanom amanipadua no atiapɔ Cape Coast ne mpɔtamu ne nyinaa ɛyɛ Pina Herbal Ashaiman Downtown ɛne Kasuafo ne nyinaa no Humble Mother abie bi kuha wokɔ a wobenya yɛ nnuro yi bi na watɔ to na mesrel hyene nsoma ye ho ehia me pa woto aduro no a numbers na ye de tu dwa no bomodian ne free numbers no na doctors no ene woni nkomo Richard
wan kasa mfa wo pen no maduro
me pa cho da bi
ntini ye de numbers
no egu ho free
ofrani a cho kwan abafa so
obi wo ho no oto ya opentem ntina wanom afo be hwe na enya adwuma ma no
be complaini
Timesremo numbers no ehia ye pa momodiana monfre ye gye ye ho dinti na wo paye aganya na ya gye wo so say to sen Richard me da sepa
enso ye da masepa antino wo to aduro na no frɛ number no na afia kyerɛ kwan a obefa so na onom eye aduro no afei ye ni ase nkomo no emfa ento so enra ye be ka kyerɛ mo say house of folk aya appointment na amo enya a new managing director in Mr. Julius Ben Enuma. Na appointment in the bar na Kwame Oparado na kasa edema a house of folk. Wakasa dia for penini as say your neighbor managing director dia ma house of folk no. On the expectations. Opinion so official over on board you bet me dia beboa. I'm a house of folk. Etimi akọ enkan yemfantie bi. Na fe yibia baby a person discuss Edi Efano Yahweh na afi actually adwene Edi Afan yente Kwame Oparado on the new managing director no
Osha Julius the experience in football or the bar on board he speaks a lot. This is somebody that understands football. This is somebody that has studied football. This is somebody that has very high knowledge in the modern practices of football. And the say, put in the unbelievable club together with his media background and any other causes are why football. What the bus unbelievable club what it simply says is that it's a positive path. It means that we are looking beyond the stage we find ourselves now. Then the mayor will be able to continue to achieve that preeminent status that we've always been working for. Julius is a true phobia. And just a phobia of a 2 year. That will need to and on so making sure there. Oh yeah. And therefore, I had to say a dream come true that team was support with the HR eventually. It gives you in itself extra motivation to continue to work because you want to succeed at a place that
okay, and Kwame Oparado, customer for the house of folk, and now Okasadia for open was opening now, but I mean about a good year no football and Casano Tiasie, the expertise is there, and and yet team crown farm opening, we are not tunchaya. I say true house of folk, and then you will be a keke, you will not to club him, and I will be a one to come no sound him dear, near such a position at the Amano, a GDS opening bar. Bibia be koye at the ama a house of folk any the new managing director the ma a tima amonso no etimi akofa no de na abano. Now to me question ala say wuti de Kwame Oparado e Kenya openi no obano I mean a well vest onim de no ho what I say wabene e ban of football administration ni bibia and na osanso a true a house of fun. Edna our Baba Jidmediano as the margin director. But previously, the young penny from Somoban no Mukuta the same yarn on the buy. Magnunan, Frederick Moore, the Laru Ankuya, Okoya, Yakofo Penidi Nabe. I mean, these are people Mobano, not expectations, no. I was sure. But again, only as a phone didn't come on say. Some penny for any more mobile man successful need no. At a toxic environment system in favor of more into a mobile do the incumbent my club in no mobile in fact now they know as I be a ho dear in the house of working yet send be your penny on us successful dear Kwame Oparado again.
Okay, as I'm not very can mood I am thinking about how best that and go find Germanunsi Bonnet. Na me communication no ebeka in some put in ambassador meka. Rich me who say has almost structure na OCCA se ofa no sene eye adwuma se bronika se the operation of it and you say that people so no se ne dwuma die ne sitie no se ofa ne dwuma die se ne sitie na o de choro bibi o book so a I think has ewo Tobu Afede as the executive chairman. Make executive chairman, make Obia or double as the board chairman and the head of management. Enunti enka under normal circumstances, se Oshe has problems pa. Rich Yenya Julius at best within the House of Full structure. Say if a structure ever solve your problem, should be the administrative manager.
Okay.
I said yeah, maybe a chemuna Emmanuel Dasuberi Eyema Kotokono. Yes.
I think about fitting.
Yes. And that is the job he's coming to do. He will be there at the secretariat offering administrative expertise to the team. But the bigger problem of putting in place a corporate structure as the managing director, commercial targets. Say has he need sponsors, has need to raise this amount of money. And also ultimately empress. And also ultimately making sure say has a sustainable business. There is a reason why even in the house communique, I announce it Yenya Julius, you know. The communique doesn't extend to those areas, you know. But that is what has needs power. I am not saying they don't need Julius. Rich, every club will need a Julius in his team. Because say Eba administration, he is one of the best in the country. He is one of the best. Why more CAF, why more GFA, why more safety and security committee, why competitions committee chairman, why as a manager for the club licensing. He is a true and true football person, administratively. But me issue ni say, see a to secretariat ni we ni a to club ni we are. Rich, who puts together the club's image, ni resource, ni history, and say I will raise funds for the club because it comes down to Sikasam. And until so improvement in house, Rich, then it must be a house of focus. As that said, a chin one free, dada ye ko to go for the work of Giska. Me busao any house of folk fans. With your knowledge about Julius, does he have the competence to raise funds for us to start the liberation of club and say in Kakra, ebe winning himself out of Togo's pockets to run the club? Does he have that competence? No. He's an administrator. He can manage the club. Player registration, way, you meet this requirement, you meet way, you cholet, we are command correspondence. Yeah, come on. Club no is in a very, very good health administratively. But has problem today doesn't end with just administrative work. It goes beyond that. House needs to be a sustainable business. Rich. And now I know can say house or transfer ban. Sikasam. House the play sika. Sikasam. House entiminto quality. Sikasam. Bibia ama house of folk kotoko. Any league niko from biano. Sikasam. Anunti.
the ultimate appointment for a class, must be fundraisers. People who can raise money. About administration now. Rich. So, Yenya Akoto. Now, or you're supported by Yenya Ima. Kotoko doesn't have administrative problems. When was the last time I want to say, yes, Kotoko committee administrative blunder? They also have lawyer Safuduku as a legal brain. They don't have a problem. Has with Julius will never have a problem with administrative matters. No.
But when it comes to marketing,
yes,
commercialization,
no. Obia, you see, the point that I'm starting to say is, in the operations of House of Folk Administration, Mimi who is said to be a double as the board chairman and the head of the management, and they say, Rich, I will want to see House name Obia of a corporate world neighbor. Ni CV and ni mudro no wo indirectly tell to go to shift.
Obey.
That is the problem. Who comes in with a big corporate CV, bold enough to meet the house board and say, look, shifts, remain on the board, give me your KPIs, tell me how many I was raising within 3 years. Send me raise I must sign a minya as a CEO of the club. And we send a book club on the whole by. Send a beer. We don't come and wait at the door of Tobe and say, I can cheer time as soon. One church check my and Kuti. Has to show Mupe DM or Mupe striker. Yeah, discover me or ASEC. Almost say $150,000. Hey, yen team because they say yen do. That is where House of Folk and Kotoko must get to.
That's how my previous woman yenyebi. The Lalian go by.
You see,
our marketing background. She will be to suffer the more.
You see,
she magnuna no.
You see, that is what I'm saying. Say, they need someone who can shake the structure. Here, Macnunan buy. Someone say Macnunan time and no change house logo. No. Macnunan had a lot of commercial ideas. Was he able to implement them?
No.
And Macnunan time now Umbro Mina has got partnership with them. You could see saying House will need a consistent Macnunan. Somebody who will challenge the status quo until the right things are done. House in here will be our own. Me, no I don't follow the public when they seems to criticize Elijah Kambi and Odoteno. But Rich, I am saying, say, anybody worth his salt as a CEO will draw the line for Odotei and Akambi, whether they own allegiance to the board chairman, no problem. But so far as me am CEO, no, things I was a year and falling within my job description, you don't come there if I've not invited you.
I say it's one moment getting the day to the administration of the team. No,
I'm not saying so. But I've already given you the premise. Me say me who has sent you more run the club. No, say Togbe is both the board chairman and the head of management. Yeah. And Ono as the head of management in our errand boys.
Exactly. On your body now for
say who will be our own or your quasi head of management. Now on the errand boys in quotation, and yet disrespect to Odote, I respect him so much. I respect Elijah Kambi. But I'm saying, say, I'm running the protocols at the man. Now, so over here, MD. Rich, how do you fix your MD office to a system that has a quasi CEO of a sort? I want to running the protocols in correspondence with your office. The clashes are too many. Until before over to now you have to report to Elijah Kambi on recruitment. Because on moment and before you get to go to give you the check, so I sign player. The convincing must come from Akambi to Togbe. Then where do you come in as a general manager? And ultimately, yes, I don't know because the money now was say, yeah, the quiet, you know, the one you quack Jeffrey Abba. So you have to trust the allies to get to him for the money.
Are you now position as ceremony?
You get it. Intina, I say, you come in big, the office and the chair is there, but in the normal functioning of Wajumano, Rich, you have to succumb to the system to get what you want to do, whatever it is.
They okay. How's it for bed?
They know.
Indiana still no, that's what you are. So problem no ban ever.
That is the reason why Omunti means over here.
The Biano general manager, MD, why still the same problem.
Exactly.
Solve the problem.
Because look, general manager is just like a CEO or an implementer of policies. He doesn't formulate his own policies. And Julius Wabe, he is only coming to lead the implementation of the board policies. Yeah. You see, a meeting. If they introduce him, all that the meeting will go with ASA, they will tell him this is our policies. He just implement it. And I say, Metuana, and I may really got a situation with coaching. And I may be some who say, Rich, look, Gotoko, a big club has a big club now. We are not ready for the conversation. I remember Jatum say no. Your form say, if any time there's a conversation about Kotoko coaching job biano, Rich, one Ali, one Mamelodi Sundowns, one Yanga Mone Simbamo, one Pyramid mo, RS Bekanimo. Rich, you mean so oko? One the pedigree of the coaches who coach those clubs. They are the same coaches that can coach African countries, you know. Me say can Kotoko pick Akosiapia and say or your Kotoko coach.
Akosiapia don't money,
but I say Osha the standard of the big clubs of Africa. Yeah. They pick coaches omu pedigree no standard no. Equal to coaching national teams of African continent. Akosiapia is one of them, that category. But have you what you know that say? Would there be a time that will come? Obasorana Paris Kotoko announce say, look, ye pay a high level African coach and a pedigree. I was sort to say, coach Ali near the no.
Maybe a pixel maximani be.
So we've appointed Akosiapia.
I mean,
Bema wo Junso
Nhyira FM asho in the process maybe say promo code ayedien no about Nhyira FM asho e basa automatically no ye chew £5 and €5 and you more Europe so America na Canada ye chew $10 for free o send this cancel yento we tap send it there no fee
Hey, they just say okay yo. Tap send. No.
Yeah Ojo, what's on this channel? Okay, any mama check them some fro. Kaish, soon tap send party jack. Mama we are saying can you? Hey, remember that?
Ofa, pacha mama fro.
You know what when you have say?
Masoya yeshino nana.
Nothing.
Se baby ameti ye to me. And me wo fa send me ska. Di nkan wo de ko si wo bisu ni pakura discount. Yo de ba yen so ami ko yi a e ho sem bebre. Afi kwa do mo busam sem my transaction o hoda.
Utie show na course na de to jana e bet we quote. Adentia. Because you get to say it is the best betting company ewo ewiase de numero 1 omo ana omo tua na afoforo atiem nti adentina wo akonya to be with the number 1 but you decide to be with others Betway and also about www.betway.com.gh betway.com.gh now I register now I deposit they will become part of the Betway family. Now, apart from normal bebre or mo de brewa, e ma wani G as a customer no. Say Betway the normal me no about Betway rewards. More na ultra bet, more na go ba aviator, wo ye o normal e platform no so no. Now wunya accumulated points ultimate convert to sika anytime bia o pebia. After so o share better. O unique code near that bet no so no. Betway say share na for enya unique code ni bi emfa bet no. So omudi twa bet wa code ni odi ana omudi code no etwa bet no sika omudi twa emu 4% e wa code no e odi away enya ade a den kra eno ase de bia wa share bet e wo Betway na wa share code eno ena ma we Betway influencer e de ma Betway undi 18 years a onka ho we di 18 years ya wo akonya se obe join Betway abusia no na ye nyina ye win bom na mmom no o bet ya no bet responsibly Betway am say get way more.
Pacho ya wrap up na ya sorry na Mirishi Kaden Afei Duku aka Starboy and Starboy AD and birthday Starboy happy birthday to you bro nyame nhyira pa nyame nhyira nyame enkoso ano nya okese na nyini be panimpa so ho na abusua ne Ghana nyina no yenya aye oso emfa so ko school our New Life International School Kaden Afei Duku aka Starboy happy birthday to you Edna I'll say I'm sure happy birthday it's your friend Masia Adam Kasia to us your buyer now in my benwa anything etnase at the obra at 120 you know